Back in Port Hamor. And things have changed since you've been away. The Ngande are currently in charge. And you have, in fact, Nala has met with their leader, Commissar Sisto Mikale, who has asked for your services in securing magical artifacts from the ruins of the Maglubiate Primacy in return for official recognition of your claim on all of the Maglubiate Primacy. You guys also secured the permission to take down Lord Commander Odwick's body from the spike that was used to impale him and give him a proper burial, which you proceeded to give him a proper burial by taking him up to your inn room and resurrecting him, along with Major Hazimir.
Right, proper.
Yep, it was right and proper.
That is
And
a proper burial for our company.
and
Well,
yeah,
we've
so
done
you
with
guys are
everybody so far.
currently you guys are sitting in the room in your inn. I believe you are in a demi-plane or a mansion or something. And you are discussing how you plan to, with Odwick and Hasimir, because they're asking you guys what the plan is to retake Port Hamor.
Okay. So guys, I got this great plan. It goes something like this. You see all those other bodies on spikes? We grab them first. Then we go on this expedition with our guys, and we get all the cool loot that the Primacy has for ourselves. And then we turn it against them.
I'm going to stop you right there with the 3 bodies. Did we get permission for that, too?
Nope.
Yeah, I figured that relations are kind of tense after that thing that happened.
I mean,
Well,
we
okay.
could have Nala go back up there and talk with some leadership and see if she can negotiate.
don't think
Uh,
they like me after the dragon incident.
But if you say pretty please, they have to do it.
That's
I mean,
not
I
how
have a slightly
politicians
different
work.
wait. We're inside the mansion, right?
Currently, yes.
Okay, under. I'd like to step outside of the mansion door really quick.
Okay, you are in your room at the inn.
All right. Can I picture the area where those spikes are?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to picture. Let's go with the one that they had impaled Lieutenant Milcha on.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to dimension door with like that way when I pop out, like I would be able to grab the body.
Okay.
I would like to dimension door to that point and grab hold of the body.
Alrighty, you can do so.
Can we all agree
No
we're going to
visibility,
blame Gilbert
No con-
for all
no
these
nothing.
resurrections?
So you step out of the dimension door and grab the body.
And dimension door right back out.
You understand that you haven't removed the body from the spike yet, yeah?
Okay, am I holding it up in the air?
No, you've grabbed a hold of the body as it sits on the spike.
Okay. Am I up in the air though with the body? Like, is this
No,
high
you're
up?
on the ground.
Oh, this is like ground level?
Yeah, like you reached out and grabbed her ankle with your hand.
Uh-oh. Don't do it!
You said you grabbed her body. I don't know how else to explain
Okay.
that.
How thick is the spike?
It's about 3 inches in diameter. Appears to be made out of wood.
Does that look like something I could slice in half with a Vorpal sword pretty easily?
You'd imagine so, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna slash that bottom bit and
What is
hop
your
back
passive
to-
perception, by the way?
Only 11.
11's good enough. You do know that there are, in fact, like pikemen walking around, yeah? Like Ningandi.
I am
pikemen.
aware,
Okay.
but they don't know I'm back with the party, so I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Go to
Well,
war.
go ahead
are
and make your
really-
attack roll with your Vorpal Blade.
Really warming
Besides-
out our welcome quick.
The real surprise for them is going to be the next round if they try to stop me. All right. Let's see. That's a Hot damn.
RD20 plus a lot.
Does 19 hit?
Yes, it
damn.
does. There's no need to roll damage. So you slice with your sword. The pole topples over. You hear, there's kind of like this squelching sound as the body hits the ground. And you start hearing from the pikeman behind you, hey, what are you doing? Stop that. And feet running towards you. So what are you doing?
Dimension door.
How far away is he from me?
He is about 20 feet behind you.
Okay. Would the body with the spike in it be approximately my size?
It's technically taller, but not terribly much. Yeah, I'd say it's still medium-sized.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to just fall forward and dimension door it out with me back to the
Okay.
door.
Why don't you make an initiative check while the pikemen do as well, to see if you can get the spell off before they reach you.
Oh, these guys think they could stop me.
They're not very enthusiastic about trying to fight someone that.
Oh no, someone's vandalizing a body. That's not anyone I care about.
7 and 9.
It doesn't matter. All right, Gilbert, you fall forward despite the sound of armored feet, heading for you. You cast Dimension Door, and you're heading back to the inn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pop back out right where I was standing and just walk right back into the mansion.
With
spike
your
under my
Melcha
shoulder.
kebab?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. You Dimension Door, stumble a little bit as you kind of fall face first onto this corpse. Pick yourself up, pick up the Melcha
Hey.
kebab, and walk into the mansion.
Hey, boss.
Yep.
Hello.
Boss, you're dripping.
Oh, that's not me. I don't drip anymore.
Should we
I
be
have-
concerned that people are going to be upset?
I have some concerns.
With Lieutenant, I honestly I owe her for this.
I think I'm totally pro resurrecting people. So let's do the thing. Although I feel like a plan might have been in order so we could get everybody
I'm
and not
totally
get more guards.
for resurrecting people.
Okay. Actually, do you have Dimension Door? You want to go right now, real quick?
I haven't mentioned
Okay,
okay.
step outside with me.
it. All right.
What? Where are you
Hey.
going?
So,
Boss says do a
Yes,
thing. I'm gonna do a thing. I'll be right back.
so we're going to officially make a move on these guys.
No, we're just stealing the spikes, and Gilbert's gonna
It's
walk
just
right
a
up.
little bit of corpse robbery. Yeah. I get it. Oh, okay.
And the moment I
Dimension
step outside, Dimension Door.
I'm gonna have to bring
And
everyone
there goes
back
the
to
goodwill.
normal.
All
There
right,
goes all
so
the good.
Gilbert and Mina are Dimension Dooring back to the square.
Yep.
Yep.
Right
Let's-
next to the spike of
Also,
Have we-
right
have
next
we
to a
taken
gaggle of
bronze
pikemen.
Yep.
And you hear someone yell,
By surprise.
"They're back!" You guys should roll initiative.
All right.
these
Shock.
poor fools.
How far from the main school corridor are we?
Couple hundred feet. I think it's 200 feet from the end of to the square in a straight line.
Are we on the second floor?
Yes.
Can I shoot from this one of these windows?
It won't
Gotta
hit
go
the
fight-
square.
Oh.
I just said we were corpse robbing.
As you walk into this gaggle of pikemen.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to interpret it as such.
And
Don't
you
worry, I've
hear
got great oratory
there are
skills.
5 pikemen. And you hear the lead one yell out, "Get 'em." And they start hitting you with pikes.
To my surprise.
Oh no, they're going to assail Gilbert's massive armor class. How terrifying.
How far away from me are they when I teleported?
They are in melee. They are 5 feet away.
30 in melee.
All right, so they try to beat on Gilbert, all while yelling out, "Stop resisting!" Gilbert, what is your AC?
My AC is 22, and I'm
Okay.
immune to crit.
Okay, well, they got 2 hits then, from the looks of it.
Oh no, I've been poked.
2d10
You take 10
plus
points of piercing damage. As a couple guys stab you with their pikes, and the rest are kind of using them almost like batons, trying to beat you down.
How many guys are there?
5.
Okay.
All right. Gilbert, what do you do?
Okay.
Right, Gilbert's
So,
next.
let's
Or
see.
sorry, Mina. My bad.
Okay. How far to the nearest who's a what's it to grab?
5 feet.
5 feet. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. You know, I don't think I'm gonna worry too much about trying to remove this spike. Whatever's gonna happen's gonna happen. I ain't got time for any shenanigans. I grab the corpse and tell these people goodbye, and then I dimension door out.
Okay, you understand the corpse is still on a spike that is fixed to the ground. Can't exactly carry it anywhere easily.
It's not going to go. I assumed it would go and just be.
You are
ugly.
not carrying it, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You are grabbing a hold of what is
don't-
essentially a structure.
I don't think it affects me too much. I will hoist it if that is a thing. I will just hoist it on.
All right. What is your strength score?
My strength score is 20.
Oh,
My
okay, yeah.
athletics
Then it doesn't
is
fucking
17.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is just pure strength, not even athletic shit. This is just how much can you lift? Can you lift a body
Yeah.
up 6 feet?
Yeah. I believe I can.
Yes, I agree with you. Okay, so yes, you know, there's this.
All right. If
sh-
it's my action,
yes,
I will
that is
action
your
surge and do the jump.
All right, you slurp the body off the spike, leaving this residue behind, and yeah, you dimension door away.
Neat.
And you hear Gilbert. You hear one of the pikemen yell out, "They're stealing the bodies!" All right, Gilbert, what do you do?
Okay, you said there are 5 of them?
Yes.
Quicken spell, upcast, hold person.
Okay.
Let's see, that would be 5 people, so that should be at
8th level?
no, not 8th level.
7th if you want to get them all.
Yeah, that would be 7th, and that would encompass the 1 upcast of that level I can use.
No, it'd be 6. It's 1 plus, or it's spell level minus 1. So it's an
Mhm.
additional target for every level, and it's a 2nd level spell.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be level 6. Still only have one of those because of spell points. So I will hold person all of them with a quicken spell.
Okay. They have to make a
That's a
wisdom save.
save.
All right.
Oh man, it's been so long since I've used a DC.
What is your
Ah.
DC?
18.
All right, they all freeze.
And I just saw Mina just lift the corpse off the spike.
Yes, it would appear that they are only held on by gravity.
With a 23 strength, do I seem like I'd be able to do that pretty easily?
Yeah, it looked like she just sort of lifted it up like she grabbed it by the ankles and just kind of pushed up. And then when it came off the spike, she just kind of had it over her shoulder and then dimension doored.
Yeah, Gilbert's just gonna do the same thing. Lift. Which one is this? Bronze Bottom.
Mina grabbed Bronze Bottom. There are two
Who's this
other
one?
paladins here. You never got their name.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just grab this guy and I'll pop him off a spike.
Okay.
Does that use up an action?
It does.
All right.
All right, so it is their turn. There's a chance they could.
Now that you're holding a body,
Well, one of them looks to be shaking it off, but I believe it's back to you.
Looks to be or has?
Has at this point. Like they passed.
Okay.
One person seems to have passed their save, and you hear them yelling out. You're just dimension dooring back?
Actually, these bodies count as objects, right? Not humanoids.
Yes.
So I could technically grab 2 bodies and then leave.
If you have the carrying strength and at 23 strength, you almost certainly do.
All right. Well,
Then Gilbert abducted a person.
Actually, I'm trying to decide if I toy with them.
You know what's
I'm just
bad?
gonna. I'm gonna give this guy a non-lethal boop. Just
Nat 20.
just punch him in the schnoz, knock his ass out with my fist.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, roll to hit. It's a strength
not
attack.
gonna bop him with the vorpal sword.
Oh God, no! I'm not gonna try non-lethal with a sword.
You hit.
But it would be
All right.
hilarious.
With a vorpal sword.
It would be hilarious.
non-lethal with a verbal.
This is non-lethal.
It's possible as long as you don't roll a 20. If you roll a 20, you accidentally hit his head. All right, he takes that hit, and you hear, oh, fucking. He is still up. Though you now see blood pouring through his fingers. Looks like you may have broken
my
his
nose!
nose.
I'm gonna look at him. It's like my body. No stopping. I'm gonna drag this corpse over to the next spike.
Okay.
Opportunity attack.
Yeah, he's going to take an opportunity attack. And he's going to try and hit you with the butt end of his pike.
He's got a disadvantage, don't he?
No.
Well, I mean, his nose is not just broken and blood. I mean,
Yeah, it is. He's in pain. He's pissed off. But it doesn't actually give him
The
disadvantage.
pain has brought
He is a
him
soldier.
clarity.
He is trained
He
to
has
fight
super ad-
despite a broken nose. So a 22 hits you, yeah?
I'm gonna flex on his ass and just shield.
Okay.
And just raise a hand and shield.
All right. And you walk over to the spike. Is there anything else?
Am I able to pop that guy off too?
Nope, you don't have any more actions. You used it to punch
Okay.
him.
Go back and
I'll
punch
leave
him
that there
again.
then.
All right. All right. He is. Let's see. Looking at his comrades, he's going to pull out a whistle and begin blowing it. A shrill, alarm begins to be raised. You hear
Oh, shit.
answering whistles.
punch him in the
distance.
mouth. Punch him in
As
the mouth so he
while
chokes on it.
still blowing on the whistle, he charges you and attempts to grapple you.
Resisting.
He gets a 19 on his athletics check.
Gilbert, use
Alright.
your acrobatics.
All right. Oh, oops, that's a D10. I need a D20.
All right, he grabs a hold of you. You are grappled.
Oh, you've got me. Whatever shall I do?
And actually, Gilbert, I need you to make a concentration check for that hit on hold person.
What hit?
The butt end hit when you attack of opportunity.
I shielded.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry,
Sure.
I thought that hit. My bad. Okay. Yeah, so he has grappled you, and turns out there's no strength requirement for this for some reason. He begins dragging you away from the spike using his remaining movement. You are now You end up
Oh,
12 feet away
no.
from the spike in the middle of the square. He's still blowing this whistle.
Oh
This-
no!
He's gonna
Good.
regret that. He's gonna really regret that.
All right, Gilbert.
Yeah.
I will look over my shoulder with my glowing red eyes. And I will warn him that this is his last opportunity to stand down. I am attempting to intimidate him.
Okay. Roll intimidation. You have advantage even if you don't normally, because he is, got a broken nose and you are in fact terrifying.
Apparently he's feeling slightly ballsy because he managed to hold on. That or I'm just really out of it.
You notice a distinct odor of excrement at this point.
He shit himself.
You are no longer grappled.
Good man.
Oh, he still has his hand on you, but it is a weak enough grip at this point that you could easily pull away.
All right.
The strength has just drained out of him, as with probably with the color on his face.
Yes,
Oh,
this
yeah.
pale. You can tell that he's like some 17-year-old kid.
Sign up for this shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my body back over to the other spike and, get ready to lift that core.
Okay. On their turn. Oh, by the way, he did stop whistling too when you did that.
Imagine the wheezy whistle sound that's happening when that happens. It just tapers off.
A bolt comes flying at you. Looks like it will hit you out of the darkness near one of the buildings.
You have shield up still, don't you? No.
That's been his turn.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been my turn. Shield.
Okay. You hear a kathunk. He tries again.
K8. Why does he have advantage?
Special ability he has for attacking from there.
This is a special boy.
Yeah,
got a
you
plus
see,
10.
and then you see a guy step out of the shadows with a short sword out. It looks like he's dropped a light crossbow. Dressed in what appears to be a really nice set of studded mail, an Ngandian insignia on his shoulder. And he charges you to make a third and final attack in melee.
Ooh, a captain. Ooh.
He does not appear to have a rank insignia. Just the Ngandian official one.
Or he's a special operatives.
Can I see his face?
Yes, you can.
Under
He
Mina,
looks angry.
Mina probably wouldn't have stayed gone for an unlimited amount of time if
You're
Gilbert
200
didn't
feet
pop
away
up.
inside the inn and not hearing anything, besides some whistles.
But he didn't pop up with the corpses immediately though.
Okay, fair enough. Let me finish these guys and then you can go. All right. Let's see. The Intimidate guys are going to just kind of stand there watching. And it looks like 3 of those pikemen are moving again.
2 of them. The 17 fails.
Oh, sorry. I was glancing at it with my eyes. I saw the 8 in parentheses as an 18.
Oh, all good.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 2 of them start moving. Thanks for catching that. All right. Mina, what are you doing?
All right. Well, if she doesn't see her boss, she's gonna teleport back out there.
Okay.
Dimension door.
You dimension door. It's been like what, 6 seconds, 12 seconds without him. So
Yeah, something like that.
so you
like that.
dimension door. Do you go back to the same spot you were in?
Just about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're next to 4 pikemen, 2 of which appear to be paralyzed, 2 do not. You see a guy in studded leather armor engaged in melee with Gilbert. He has a short sword out.
Okay.
And Gilbert does not look like injured or concerned at all.
All right. Mina would like to say, We're not here to hurt you, but you best stop or you're gonna get oofed. That's it.
Get the second body.
Okay. Gilbert.
All right, yeah. Gilbert's going to lift the second body off.
Okay.
Totally ignoring the guy in army. Like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, Gilbert's just flat out ignoring that man. Lifts the body off. Wishes everybody a good evening.
You cast
Essentially
wish,
directing
everybody
that
has-
towards the guy Gilbert scared the shit out of, and then just steps backward through a dimension door.
Okay.
Okay.
As you cast Dimension Door, you provoke an attack of opportunity from this guy.
Mage
Ooh.
Slayer.
What a mean feat. This
This
mad
guy
lad.
has Mage Slayer.
Does a 28 hit you?
Give me a second. 5.
That's
Yeah.
regardless.
Unless you have something on top of shield you can add to
Yeah.
your AC.
It does hit.
Okay.
Job. And then all the crazy effects go off.
Hey,
You now have disadvantage against your concentration save because you were hit by him.
you're immune to poison, right?
I am indeed immune to poison.
Okay, that's good. So you only take 28 points of piercing damage.
Wow.
Uh,
Special
the-
operative boy.
He angry.
Mina, would you be so kind as to take these corpses off my hands? I need to educate
Yes,
some
sir.
people.
So to be okay. Now to be clear, doing so only requires a concentration check on your point. You can in fact complete the spell if you succeed on it.
Okay.
So it's up to you whether you can willingly fail it and let the spell fizzle and do what you will. But if you want to keep the spell, you can finish casting it.
I think Gilbert's feeling.
So you do have disadvantage on it because of Mage Slayer.
Right. I think Gilbert will allow his dimension door to fizzle, and
Okay.
yeah, he'll just ask Nala to not Nala, Mina to take these bodies.
Oh, crap.
Okay.
It just got bad.
I have a feeling that things are going to get bad really fast. This
You
is
know how we weren't going to declare war on the Port Hamor?
I know.
So much for that.
We could have planned things out, but, heat of the moment, I guess. Don't know what was expected.
All right. So let's see. So after Gilbert is these guys. Let's see. Well, the two moving pikemen by Mina are, unsurprisingly, seeing how this is all going to hell, going to try to attack Mina.
Okay.
And Mina one-shots them with Vicious Mockery.
What is Mina's AC?
It's only 18.
So that is 1, 2, 3 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was 2 pikes and a butt end.
Oh, these guys got Polar Master? That's how they're able to multi-attack? That's so neat. I thought they just had multi-attack.
They do have multi-attack. They also have Polar Master. So that is a total of 14 piercing and bludgeoning.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I see these
But
guys
like
don't have
level
high
8
numbers, but
fighters,
they have
probably.
high feet.
Probably like level 8 fighters or something.
The guy fighting Gilbert basically tries to stab him a whole bunch of times.
Probably a
Awesome.
warlock fighter kind.
Okay, let's see. Does the 2022 hit you?
20 does not. 22 won't once I subtle spell shield.
Okay, you subtle spell shield.
It's just deflected. Not even a motion on Gilbert's part.
Yeah, he doesn't like this. He does not like this at all. He engages as a bonus action and begins to move away. He moves 30 feet away from you.
It's not far enough, son. That's not far enough, son.
He appears to be heading for that shadowy corner he came from.
That's fucking right.
All right. After that, those last two guys.
He did not know the way. He does not know the way.
Well, one of them can move again. Mina, it is your turn.
It got silent.
It is Mina's turn. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there it
I can
goes.
hear you.
I
Yeah,
couldn't hear that. All right. So how far away are the corpses?
The corpses are 10 feet away from you.
Mina's gonna calmly step over to the corpses.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity from one of the pikemen.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit Mina?
Nope.
All right, he misses.
All right, Mina's gonna calmly walk past him, hoist these two corpses up over her shoulders. I don't know if that's gonna be her whole action.
No. Getting him off the ground like that is just an object interaction. It was getting him off the spike that was a bit more involved.
Okay. She's gonna tip her hat to these lovely gentlemen and wish them well and leave.
Okay, you dimension door away. All right, Gilbert.
All right. This kind of special forces looking guy. Does this kind of role exist within the Belotland military?
Not that you know of. But generally speaking, if there were such a force, they probably wouldn't have told you about it. Special forces
makes
generally tend to be covert forces.
So, under that pretense, would it be safe to assume that killing this man in front of all these low-ranking goons would certainly leave an impact?
I mean, you can certainly think so.
Okay.
It's, he's definitely, better equipped and stronger hitting than they were, so, it probably means something when they see the big guy in the block get taken down.
Okay.
You do it just viciously, quickly, and and it's done.
I'm going to walk up to him, and as I approach, I shall swear a vow of enmity,
Okay.
and I will attack him.
Okay. Okay. 2 hits.
Gonna put the smite on this man. Yeah, let's say I'm going for the nape of the neck and just under the shoulder. Smite. All right. Sorry, it's been a little bit. I want to make sure looking at
Sure.
the right number. .58 mixture of magical slashing and radiant.
All right, yeah, you hit him. On the first hit, it does seem like he's able to kind of shimmy partially out of the way, reducing the impact of that hit, though the second one he takes full on. And he kind of grunts a bit in pain. He does not appear to have been bloodied by that. He is just wounded.
All right.
Uh-oh, he survived.
That shall conclude Gilbert's turn.
Okay. Okay. He is going to disengage and move 30 feet to cross the street from you. He appears to be heading towards the keep.
He's running. Let him go.
When he gets to the other side of the road, he kind of goes into the shadows, getting around some debris. What's your past perception, Gilbert?
Not high enough.
Near 11.
Okay. Well, you lose sight of him. What do you do?
Sneaky bastard.
All right. Gilbert's gonna look over at these raw-looking recruits by the way they were described.
Well, let's just say you don't generally send your best forces on colonial duty.
I kind of figured. I'm going to look at them, and I'd like to
Say
attempt to intimidate them. Really, really,
Say it.
really try to unsettle them.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll
Break
intimidation.
their morale. Is this one with advantage?
Sure. You just frightened off the big bad. Okay, they appear to be keeping their distance, though they still have their pikes leveled at you, almost as if they want to keep their weapon between you and them.
Intelligent. And Gilbert will, at this point, quicken spell Dimension Door. Just flavoring this one is just falling straight down through the ground.
Okay. You fall straight through the ground and land in your room. You guys are out of initiative for what it matters.
So are we declaring war on the town?
Gilbert,
It was
did
kind
you
of
do
obvious
something
whenever we got the body
Complicated.
without permission that, yeah.
Gilbert,
So
did you
we're
do
gonna
something
bring
stupid?
these.
I broke a man's nose, wounded a special forces operative, and made
Fight.
my point, I believe, quite clear to at least one recruit.
If anybody asks, by this time we were half a day's march to the west.
Yeah, we would be able to pull that off, except Mina went with. So now we're tied in with that little escapade. Not the smartest move. So are we doing this or are we fucking
Why
off?
does this seem like a good idea?
Yeah.
We're gonna bring all the paladins back. Then we're gonna march back into town with these extra people and. Kill
I honestly
everything.
think they should go back and let us take care of business ourselves after a few days of,
many-
maybe felling trees.
Lieutenant, can you teleport?
Yes.
I'm going to cast Sending to the Grand Vizier of the Kobolds that I had appointed, and ask him how things are going on his end.
Okay, you cast the spell. You get no response.
Well, the Kobolds might be dead.
Weren't they watching our treasure?
They were watching at least some of it.
Shit, we left the dragon stuff behind with them. That's the only thing I'm really concerned about. Fuck.
Yeah, all our stuff was under there.
In the event that somebody took the horde itself, like say that blue dragon, I recommend that we teleport directly to the temple itself or to the spire, as opposed to directly to the dragon horde.
I did take some gold out of the horde for this very reason. Not expecting a dragon fight, but to get back there quickly. Odwick and who is the other person we rescued?
Well, we have
There's
the
Odwick and
body.
Hazimir. and
Adwick
3 bodies. Or sorry, 4 bodies. Melch is there. Melch's body and 3 other paladins.
We might have to relocate until we can gather some forces. How do the 2 of you feel about coming along with us?
Lord Adwick responds, I never took you guys for cowards. My fight is here, and here I shall be.
You intend to fight well over 800 people alone.
I've faced worse odds before.
Yeah,
Did you
good luck with
survive?
that screwball.
Adwick, we're not retreating. We're simply engaging the next step of the plan.
A plan which you have seemed to be making up as you go along.
That's how we killed a
Indeed.
god and a dragon. Yeah.
And ended the demon horde.
And the undead horde.
Adwick, how would you suggest that we minimize civilian casualties? Because I'm certain we're not going to back down on this.
Well, if you raise the town folk to rebellion, then you don't really have to worry about that, do you? If there are no civilians, you don't have to worry about civilian casualties.
If I may, that's a rather poor distinction, especially given our capability.
Given your capabilities, I don't understand why this town is still under Ngandian control.
Got
Yeah,
a point, boss. He
he
got
does
a
have a
point.
point. It might be smarter to try and take them on now before they can regroup.
You know, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Shall we make our destination the good commander's office? And decapitate the occupation.
Lord Adwick, what
Okay,
sort of defenses did you have in that keep?
And
That
the
were,
shield-
like maybe magical?
I appreciate the thought that we might have spent that money, but I assure you, money out here in Port Hamor was not flowing like wine. We did not have the gold to put magical defenses in for the keep. It is stone and wood. Our best defense was a locked door.
Can I make an insight check on him? I find that kind of hard to believe for
That's-
a man.
That's horrible, man. Our wagon is protected better than that.
Which
Was
wagon?
protected better
Oh,
than that.
was,
It is
yeah,
now in the possession of a blue bastard dragon.
We're going to kill and get back, by the way.
We do eventually go and kill him, yes, but we have more pressing matters to attend to.
I just sworn like people like this would have a
Oh.
court wizard or something responsible.
Well, you do
for
remember that he did have a court wizard who died in the demon invasion.
that. That
Yeah, but-
explains it.
And with the bitterness he's talking about in terms of gold not flowing like wine, it's not exactly by choice that he's had to skimp on defense.
See, well, we don't have to worry about magic being turned against us locally.
All right. A
Hmm.
couple questions. Do we have an hour to spare if it means we get a dragon on our side?
Why would they bring Mage Slayer to a place with no mage?
I would have special forces on hand just in case you run into something like us.
If I might, yeah, exactly. They know us. They know we are overwhelmingly cast. Bringing mage slayers makes a lot of sense when you want.
But they didn't bring. If they knew us, they would have brought more forces.
They weren't expecting us to be hostile.
We haven't seen their best forces yet. I'm sure of it. I'm sure
If I
someone
may.
will give us a run for our money.
So, yes or no? Hour for a dragon.
Well, of course, I think the answer is yes.
Do
Unilaterally.
we have a volunteer, or do we have to go back to the forest? If
Volunteer.
we have, you're volunteering, Gilbert.
I volunteer.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Hmm.
I'm going with silver.
Black.
Uh,
After silver, let's go with silver.
all
Feeling
right.
nostalgia.
True polymorph Gilbert into
What's
a
the size
adult.
limitation of this mansion?
Yeah. And if when we're in the mansion, how are we going to get out into the fucking? Yeah.
So we're going to want to leave town for this, but I can true polymorph you into an adult silver dragon. You will still be you technically, but you're also going to be a fucking dragon. So we're gonna want open space.
I got another question. That's this is a mechanics question. We swiped 4 people off hooks on the wall and brought them back and brought them to life from our hotel room. Now, it might arouse suspicion when more people come out of this room than went in.
Sure,
To
we
be
got
fair, you
about a
haven't
good-
raised the 4 people yet.
Okay. I mean, that's just something to look at. And plus, they saw Mina. I don't know if they knew Gilbert, but they did see Mina.
They'll put
I don't
two
know
and
if
two
it's
together
okay.
within the hour. I'm sure of it. Especially with
Yeah.
all their operatives fucking off seeing.
Besides, let's get moving.
All right. How many people do we have with us? That's a lot of people. What way do we want to come in from?
Well, what do you mean come in from?
The town above on the dragon.
Well,
Would it be
If-
possible just to enter in the keep? In the keep.
given
in
the
the-
Well,
party
if people would be quiet for a minute. If we want a dragon, it's going to take an hour or it's going to be very unstable. If it's going to take an hour, we're going to need to do it well out of town.
Fine either way.
Go to the main room and start slaughtering, or we can go out of town and make a dragon and come back and slaughter.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be definitely ready regardless, but they'll be more ready if we're going to take an hour. Maybe the dragon's worth it, maybe not. I see maybe a difficulty of an adult dragon going inside a keep. That might be
Oh.
difficult.
There
Fun-
would not be
fun
a keep
fact
left.
Fun fact about silver dragon. They can polymorph into people.
Not adults.
Wait, what?
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's ancients that can do that, but I don't think adults have shapeshift.
Thought adults did.
I'm checking. Let's see. Silver dragon. Adult silver dragon. Change shape. Yep, I'm wrong.
Also,
Oh,
if
man.
if
People
we
just walk
want-
into town, they won't know.
if we want our people back, it's going to take an hour for each of them.
How much more time do they have till they're non-viable?
I would
Malcha,
almost
she's
say
got
that gives.
Probably a couple hours. Speaking of which,
I mean,
I'm gonna
if-
get started on her.
I say we take the town now. We teleport into the keep, slaughter our way down to the bottom. By the time we reach the bottom, there'll be no more soldiers to stand against us, and insurrection.
If I may, we might be able to do this if we allow them to organize and get what they believe to be their best defense up. If we allow them to reach that and then make an overwhelming display of force by taking the keep, we should be able to break the entire army.
Do we want them to be able to retreat? Those boats are nice, awfully stationary at the moment, I'm sure of it. Probably not the immediate concern for them.
What I'm saying is that we don't need to engage in wanton butchery.
We
Well, I
could
mean,
come
we
in
just
from the harbor using Micmic's
could have
idea.
pulled me.
Come in from the harbor, sink their ships. That way, they have nowhere to flee.
If they have nowhere to
And we
flee,
kill them in mass.
if I may, if they have nowhere to flee, they will stand and fight. By giving them a way out, if you want to get real technical here, if they're able to fortify the keep and we take the keep, we should be able to break their morale that way. If they feel the city is lost, they will fall back to their boats, and from there they become even greater sitting ducks out in the bay.
That's so true.
We would be able to drive them off the continent very efficiently in that regard.
So you want to go to the
If
forest?
they surrender, do not kill them. Take them prisoner.
Sorry, could
You
you
gotta take
repeat
the
that?
time to
If
take
if
people
they
prisoner. If people surrender and stop fighting, I won't fight them. If they
Exactly.
die while fighting, I'm not going to shed any tears for it.
if they die fighting, that's their choice. But if they surrender, do not kill them.
I'm sure I have other
Agreed.
problems in my hands. Yeah.
Agreed. I have no desire for wanton slaughter. Besides, if more of them are retreating, it should cause the rest to rout in short order.
I do have to say,
Troops
what was
mostly
done with the
very
stakes and the
discreet.
people was very irresponsible. I want my opinion to be put out there. That was stupid.
What
That
was?
was bad. We would have better choices if that was not done.
This is true. That being said, I was not going to allow the clock to tick on people that I owe the favor, especially not to deal with military bureaucracy.
So are we attacking now, or are we letting them prepare?
What's the
Well, if
plan?
we let them prepare, we might actually lower civilian casualties that way. Less people out in the streets. Maybe.
Precisely. That will allow us to make an overwhelming display of force.
All
Comcheck?
right.
Yeah, we hear
All
you.
right.
Alright.
Then let's get out of here. I will, once we've
Actually-
left the city, I will inform the commissar and hope that we can keep civilians out of the crossfire.
So how are you leaving the city exactly? Currently, you're in the mansion inside your inn room.
Are we going to exit the mansion teleport?
I say we teleport towards the horizon due west. The ocean's on the east, right?
Yes.
What about the Southern Watchtower?
The what?
What if we go to the Southern Watchtower? It makes a nice landmark.
How far is that? Can you see it from here?
No, it's like a day's march.
I was never at the Southern Watchtower. She doesn't know where it is.
It's a well-known
No.
land where, like, people in Port Hamar know where the northern and southern watchtowers are, or were.
Besides, she would have been taken past it when we were going along our southern route journey after we stopped the demon horde.
It's 12 miles inland. It's not readily visible from the coast.
I
Okay.
didn't mean literally along the coast. I mean like we went along that southern route after the siege.
How familiar would I be with it for the purpose of the teleport spell?
I would let me see, what are the different levels? You have, I would say, seen casually.
So there's a decent chance this doesn't go very well.
Are we going to teleport back here to Port Hamar? If so, it doesn't really matter where we're going.
We could.
So, what have you guys decided?
Well, if we're going south, I can pretty reliably get us towards the horizon. But we'd have to split the party into 2 groups. I can't teleport everybody, and I'd
once
rather
you
not leave
know-
people behind.
Have a split the party.
We'd be arriving at the
Wow.
same destination. We'd just be taking 2 teleportations to get there,
We do have another option, I suppose.
which is
If I'm polymorphed into a dragon, I can take a team with me on my back and do a airdrop onto the keep. At which point, I believe you'd be able to teleport right to us, combined with the ability of, say, Basil's scrying. I can sending you to inform you when to begin. We'd have a, clean shot right at the center of the.
We also have exactly enough people to take full advantage of plane shift.
Doesn't that require to be other planes?
Yeah, but we have a demi-plane. We've already done this several times.
Oh, that is a good point.
Yeah,
We could plane shift right to that location.
gotta love the plane shift loophole.
so we're going to be plane shifting to the southern watchtower to make our preparations.
Yeah, that's true. We are in the mansions. We can do it right now.
So we can effectively do this whenever. No need for this teleport here, teleport there. Question mark?
Well, if we're going to be bringing everybody back to life, it's going to take 4 hours, with another hour for the true polymorph.
Who were the
I-
3 people that came with us that passed away recently?
The
They
3
still have
paladins.
several days, right?
Yes.
And they're not going to
But-
be immediately combat effective. So I
No,
don't
but
think
if
it's
we
a
give
very
them
high
a day, it'll-
priority.
if we give them a day, it'll be a chance to recover, and they are combatant.
I could also use the rest. I've used a large portion of my reserves.
Southern Watchtower preparations, then we'll attack in a matter of days.
So is it going to be just the party that's attacking?
We can ask the paladins when they are resurrected, as well as Muldra. Odwick, I will assume, given his prior statement, is more than eager to go off and fight and die right now.
We might want to arm them up with some decent gear.
I'm not keen
They're all
on.
unarmed.
I'm really not keen on letting Odwick run off to his death.
Oh, I have no interest in dying. I assure you that. That it is better to stand and die on my feet than to live on my knees.
Positive attitude.
Aye.
And if you're not running, then I have no problem coordinating a strike with you.
You're probably better off, honestly, being here the longest out of any of us, I think.
You really think they're not going to recognize the person who was on a pike in the middle of the city for several days?
Said coordinate, not lead. Directly.
If somebody finds him, he is going to be killed.
I think he's talking about logistics. Putting people in places. Who else better to lead the plan?
All right.
Paper, scissors.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Are you saying that you're voting for Odwick staying in the city, or are you saying that Odwick should have a
He's
voice
probably
in the...
going to have the best plan. How to assault. That's what I'm
agree
saying.
with that.
That's what I interpreted from his statement.
So
Um,
I'm
sound
one.
check?
Yeah, we hear you.
here.
Okay.
You know what we should really do? And we should do this for future troubles. Have a demi plane full of just raw materials so we can fabricate equipment on future instances like this. In the meantime, I only got 20 pounds of equipment, metal.
I am not capable of overseeing that, but it would be convenient.
That it would.
Dog, get out of the car.
So, what are you guys doing?
Unless there's any objections, I think the plan was Basil will plane shift us to the southern watchtower.
Why are we going there again?
So that we can turn people into dragons and raise the dead.
Okay.
Are we going to fight today?
No,
Or
we'll be fighting in a matter of days to give ourselves time to prepare and to give the Commissar time to fortify the keep or whatever they intend to do and get civilians out of the danger.
So you're leaving Hazimir Odwick here?
We're
No, fuck
taking
that.
them
We'll
with
take 'em
us.
with.
Oh yeah,
Shift
that's
has
going to be a problem.
eight-person
I
limit.
forgot to count them. The
There
party has enough people for
Yeah, the
plane
party
shift,
is
but
8
if you take
people.
anyone else, I guess Nala could plane shift some of us.
I would be able to, yes.
Alright, there we go.
So Basil takes the party, I'll take the rest of the people.
Okay.
do we have in one of these days a preparation shopping planned in advance?
If
Sounds
you
like you're doing
wanted
this
that,
right now.
if you wanted that day, that has passed when we took the
Yeah,
bodies down from
that
the
was
pike.
last session. That's
Yeah.
not at this
That
point.
was just now.
Yeah, you're saying that we're going to have planned for days. I'm asking if one of those includes a shopping deal for the additional baby units. Don't want to send the paladins unarmed, unarmored.
I have 200 pounds of iron. It's not great, but it's something. As well as some adamantine that I can make some lighter armor out of.
If we need, there should be a couple of goblin forward operating posts nearby we could scavenge.
I doubt that metal is the greatest quality, if they have any metal left, but I'm sure we can get something out of it.
Does the metal need to be quality when you're completely reshaping it? As I
Well,
recall, that's mostly an impurities thing.
there is a difference between iron and steel in quality, and I can't really turn
Oh
iron
yeah,
into
between
steel.
iron and steel. Yeah.
I'm back.
Sorry, I
Welcome
thought
back.
you meant between between
It-
shitty iron and good iron.
If it's just pig iron, I can probably improve that to at least munitions grade iron, just by fabricating imperfections out of it.
What are we doing?
We will be relocating temporarily to the southern watchtower so that we can raise dead and true polymorph Gilbert into a dragon.
Oh,
If we're going to be taking multiple days, I can turn one person per day into a dragon.
Army of dragons.
What's the best arms and armor I can make out of iron that would be effective?
I mean, we can make whatever arms and armor we need. It's just going to be, if it's iron, the armor is probably going to have -1 to its AC. If it's weapons,
Yeah, I'd like to
that
know that
depends.
stuff, the mechanics.
I mean,
Um,
you would basically be forming shitty versions of armor and weapons. They'd both be at -1.
All right. That's not too terrible.
Besides, they should be able to acquire at least new weapons off the bodies of the fallen.
All right.
Is everybody? So some people are still dead.
Yes,
What
we'll
about
be
Big
bringing
Zach?
them back and true polymorphing Gilbert, and then we'll be taking a long rest.
Okay.
Basil, if you would.
Yeah, alright.
Why? I mean, I know why Gilbert would want to be a dragon. I
Mm,
thought we had decided against true polymorphing people.
Why would we decide against true polymorph?
Is the adult dragon the same CR as he is in level? Because if not, you can't reverse him back to the same level. He would level down. That is if Under would allow it.
Huh?
level down? What?
If
No, not
Dispel meant.
exact.
Alright, so you cannot turn a CR16 creature into a CR17 creature with true polymorph. Gilbert would not be leveled down, but he could not use magic to change himself into a CR whatever. While he's true polymorphed with shape change or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that being said, if
my thing was
When-
if you could reverse engineer and undo polymorph by turning him back into the player character that is like level 17 or whatever it is.
I don't
If
think
he's-
you can use true polymorph to turn creatures into specific characters.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
if
pretty sure
he
it goes by standardized stat block.
Oh,
if
so
true
you're gonna commit
polymorph
to the
is
bit?
dispelled,
Yes,
if true
he would
polymorph
have-
is dispelled, he will just be Gilbert again. There won't be any down leveling. That doesn't exist in 5th edition.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So there is an out. Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, if we were sufficiently high CR, like we wouldn't be able to polymorph into God Emperor Pejma. We could, however, polymorph into a Lich.
Gotcha. This makes sense. Okay. I forgot we could dispel it.
Also, if I ever get tired of it, I can just, fall on a sharp rock.
Alright, so plane shift to Southern Watchtower.
Whoosh.
Okay, you and Pete both plane shift to your respective groups to the Southern Watchtower. You guys stand on a grassy hill. There is a collapsed watchtower in front of you. There are vines and grass and weeds growing all over it. It appears to have sat here in the rain for quite some time. Down the hill, about 100 yards or so, is a forest. Sounds of birds are in the air.
Wait, this area isn't dead?
After the Abyss invasion.
It is dead. The forest trees look raggedy and leafless. You still hear birds.
Like demonic birds?
Like life finds a way, Gilbert.
Like if you take an area and ecologically devastate it, flying creatures would be the most rapid ones to recolonize it.
I don't know how
Especially
far
migratory
away-
species.
I don't know how far away this is from the farmland, but I might have also rejuvenated the soil.
This is over 36 miles away from Port Hammore.
Never mind that.
Yeah,
You
but
wanna
it is close
rejuvenate
enough
the
that birds,
soil?
especially migratory birds, would certainly be in the region. You know, the ground is burnt and appears lifeless, but, insects would probably start growing here, which means there's food for birds, which means birds would move here, which means other predators are probably not far behind.
Alright.
Actually, that's a good point.
Is this place completely collapsed, by the way?
The structure? Oh, yeah.
We uprooted the foundations of the tower.
What's this we nonsense you're talking about? Mina had nothing to do with it.
I mean, I had nothing to do
I mean, it
with
looks like it partially fell over and then fell apart because it turns out stone structures weren't meant to be stood on their side.
Uh,
So like
that would
halfway
be
through
the
falling
lieutenant's
over, it just sort of
cannon.
collapsed in on itself.
all right, I will start raising the dead, starting with Malcha.
You have diamonds?
I do have diamonds, several thousand gold worth.
Good.
Hey, Under.
May it rain.
I got a question.
Okay.
What happens if a simulacrum casts simulacrum?
The first simulacrum disappears. Basically, you can only have one simulacrum, so when it casts simulacrum, your old simulacrum dissolves.
Okay, thank you.
Does it die screaming in agony?
It is painless.
It just teleports.
However, it
essentially
is important, Spectre, to remember that the simulacrum casting simulacrum, it doesn't refresh the spell sheet. So if that simulacrum that is cast simulacrum has used all of its other spell slots, the simulacrum that is created still just has that one spell slot left.
Does that apply if the nearly used up simulacrum casts simulacrum on the original caster instead of itself?
No.
Or you know.
This is just to break the simulacrum, create simulacrum, create simulacrum, create infinite wizard.
Sorry, I meant the spell list part doesn't apply at that point to simulacrum. If it casts it on, like, making a simulacrum of if Spectre simulacrum casts simulacrum to make another simulacrum of Spectre, that original simulacrum still dissolves when you do that.
So the original simulacrum still dissolves, and a new simulacrum is created with exactly what Lieutenant would have,
At
not
that
what
time,
the
yes.
simulacrum has.
Correct. When you were asking if he was asking what happens if simulacrum casts simulacrum on himself. If simulacrum if the simulacrum casts simulacrum on the Lieutenant, then simulacrum 1 dissolves because simulacrum 2 now exists.
So you can only make a simulacrum, you cannot make an army.
Correct.
What you're telling me, though, is I now have effectively infinite spell slots 8th level and below.
What?
And how long does simulacrum take to cast?
Simulacrum takes 12 hours to cast, so while...
Not if you cast Wish.
You could use Wish to cast it.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Yep, I fucked up my programming.
If I understand this, are you saying that the maximum number of
No,
simulacrum
wait.
entity that can exist is 1?
Of
I did not
yourself.
fuck up my programming. So, you cast the first simulacrum using a 7th level slot with the material cost and the time cost, right?
Uh-huh.
That simulacrum then forever refreshes itself by casting simulacrum on the original caster who has a 9th level spell slot ready.
So long as that original spellcaster never uses that 9th level spell slot, yes.
Ah.
It's pretty sweet.
See what you're
Yes,
saying now.
wizards are powerful. And yes, Spectre, that is correct. You have found a way to have effectively infinite spell slots. As long as they're below 9th level.
Oh my god.
But you've just given Under a new reason to force us to use that 9th level slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Under's Big Bad
Wait,
has this exact same strategy.
AGR, that's assuming that the Lieutenant would ever actually use a 9th level spell to help any of us. Something would have to endanger him, and that would require Under to, like, lure all of us into a trap and then have a shitload of guys ready to get the Lieutenant when the Lieutenant inevitably runs away.
If you come up with this great idea and just figured it out, I wouldn't have told the DM right now. I would have waited till combat and then used it and surprised him.
I am not a proponent of hiding things from the DM.
Why not? It's a great
unnecessarily.
idea. I want to see him use it.
Oh god, he's already thought of a counter. Don't do it!
So if I have an idea that's not a traditional way to play the game, I'll usually run it by the DM if I come up with it ahead of time, just so they don't have to come up with a ruling on the spot.
Yeah, besides, if I had a problem with that, or there was a rule issue with it, and he tried to pull it out in the middle of a session, I'd rather he not, because that may blow your entire strategy or thing that you've had in your pocket for a long time, but you never validated. Now he knows that it will work, so he can use it relatively safely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
just because I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. So something that cannot be done is caster prime makes a simulacrum. Simulacrum casts simulacrum on itself and makes another simulacrum. Simulacrum 2
Incorrect.
replaces simulacrum 1.
Yeah, they
Yes.
have the simulacrum Hayflick.
Basically, you can have you are yourself able to have one simulacrum. The simulacrum is you. All right,
Okay.
it is not a separate entity unto you. That's also why the wish effects go backwards through it.
Yeah, if you
Right.
want,
We're
Yeah,
talking
you-
about
you
a
pretty much
metaphysical
never-
sense of self here. Not,
you
not
pretty
a
much
physical
never
one.
want to cast
So then-
simulacrum on your simulacrum. That's just going to be wasteful.
It's generally going to get you diminishing returns, but it could be useful in certain rare circumstances.
And then
Well, there's a
how
niche for most things.
precisely does like what exactly is Spectre doing that gives him infinite simulacrum or infinite wishes?
So
holds on
let's
to
say you have a wizard with a full splat of spell slots, Gilbert,
Right.
and knows the wish spell. So
Right.
wish can emulate as one action without material cost any spell 8th level or below. Simulacrum is 7th level. So he creates a simulacrum. He could even use wish for it and just take a long rest then. So he has a full set of spell
so
slots.
what you're saying
His
is,
simulacrum does not have, or sorry, he wouldn't be able to use wish for it because he needs the simulacrum to have a 9th level spell slot. So then the simulacrum casts simulacrum itself, but on the original lieutenant. This creates a new simulacrum of the lieutenant's current state, which could in fact have a full set of spell slots. As long as that simulacrum never uses its 9th level spot, it can turn and create a new simulacrum using 9th level wish instantly at any time off of the lieutenant and therefore at that lieutenant's current state. So the simulacrum, so if the lieutenant never casts any spells, it just follows behind the simulacrum. The simulacrum is blasting all over the place, runs out of all spell slots but its 9th. Then its next action is to turn around, cast wish, and simulacrum the original lieutenant, creating a new simulacrum that currently has all of its spell slots. The original simulacrum
so-
dissolves. They then proceed their inevitable march forward.
okay, and replaces. Okay. So this is one of those things where Spectre's always hanging back, creates a simulacrum which keeps replenishing itself at the end of all of its spell slots.
The problem is simulacrum is a touch range spell, so he will have to stay in touch range of a simulacrum or find some way around that restriction.
Okay,
I don't know,
okay,
man.
Now I understand how this is working.
Fireball at 8th level off as many times as you want. It's still scary. He can stand
Or
on the back of the dragon and just do that and become a,
So,
part
digression
of it.
into the mechanics of simulacrum aside, you guys are standing on this hill.
I raised dead Mulcha.
All right, you raise dead Mulcha. The diamonds dissolve. Melcha does not stir.
Did anybody check these bodies to see if they had some kind of curse on them?
I mean, Odwick got up.
Oddly kind of
Wait,
lightly
wait.
kicks Melcha's corpse.
Maybe her soul
Fuck
isn't
you, get
free.
back
Maybe
here.
she's in hell.
On the afterlife, son of a bitch, he has his mind.
I will
Good
cast
lovely
Identify on Mulcha as a ritual.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
I'm going to cast Identify on Mulcha. See if there's anything magical going on.
Okay. You cast Identify. This is a human female corpse.
Well, there's an expensive alternative. It might just be that. Actually, Odwick, did Mulcha die alongside you or before or after you? Do you know?
I don't know if it was before or after, but she was not by my side at the time. Knowing her, she was probably leading some resistance somewhere else and fell.
I can try a more powerful resurrection. It'll cut into the reserves of diamonds, but it might get around the 10-day limitation on the spell I was using before.
What day is it?
Today? I don't know.
It's
Lieutenant, what
Saturday.
is it?
It is insert calendar date here.
Thank you.
10th of last seed.
Well, she was alive as of 3 days ago. Then Ngande showed up, and things happened. So, she is definitely less than 10 days old.
Could she just not be willing?
That is
Nobody
my
asked her.
thinking, as her body does look relatively intact. I have seen this magic cast before. Someone has decided to be lazy in their duties, and he's glaring at the corpse.
I don't think this is going to work. I'm gonna try to cast Sending to Lieutenant Maldra and say, Lord Commander Odwick has formally requested that you return to service in the name of retaking Port Hamor from the foreign invaders. I'm going to give her a minute to maybe mull it over, but probably not receive the message, and then I'm going to try and raise dead again.
Okay.
She doesn't.
There's no response to your message. And then you try to raise dead. Another batch of diamonds dissolves. Her body remains still.
Okay. She doesn't happen to worship Tempest, does she? You know, Odwick?
No.
I will go over there, and I will drag her back, kicking and screaming.
I don't know who she worshipped.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Can we dig around and check this corpse for any paraphernalia that might indicate? There's nothing on her.
Sure. Make an investigation check. Whoever's checking.
I will do so. I'm
I'll
not
help.
good at it. All right.
Unless you want me to take over the investigation.
That would be a great idea.
Hey,
I'll
I'm making
help
an
you.
investigation check. It ain't no big deal. I'll make one.
Investigation. Advantage
Intelligence.
from Mina helping. That is only a 23.
Okay. You start searching through the body. While doing so, you kind of hear Odwick kind of sigh, and you hear him say under his breath, "Fucking adventurers. I seriously doubt there is anything valuable that Ngande's left on the body."
For something that would imply which deity she
Tattoos or something?
You do find a small tattoo with the a symbol, like a recreation of a holy symbol of Tyr.
It says thought.
It's on her body.
Here. It would be, wouldn't it?
Tramps.
How long a walk is that?
Huh?
How long a walk is that?
To do what? To go where?
If Mina were to happen to be deceased, how long a walk would that be?
You don't know. You also don't recall ever seeing Tempest there. So, who knows?
That's fair. That's fair.
Well,
How far do you have to walk to get to another plane?
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a distance.
I don't know that Mina would have any idea, even if she was like
I don't think she would.
even if she was like a more studious like follower.
Are you an experienced dead person?
I mean, that's more of a question you'd
Yes.
usually be cleric, like someone who actually talks to deities to know.
Yeah.
Shrugs.
All right.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't even have proficiency in religion. Mina's a very off the cuffs.
Say I have a +10 to religion, but I have a +10 to religion.
This is more like the cleric
it's
would be
not
able to
good.
ask the deity, how do I like send this person back, or how would you fucking get to talk to this other random deity?
Oh, what was that guy in the Church of Tyr? Adam? Ryan? Andrew?
Billy?
Andrew Ryan?
Something like that.
I'm going to cast Sending to him and ask, how far is it from Tempest's afterlife place to Tyr's afterlife place? And how long of a walk would that be if someone were to die?
So random.
All right, you send your sending. Let me look something up.
So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna kill Mina, and Mina's gonna walk all the way on over there, and then report to Lieutenant Melja. Get your ass back in the prime material plane. We need you.
And you get the response back. I don't know. Can you even walk if you're dead? Like what the fuck are you up to?
I'll Sending again. You know, funny story about that. Turns out you can walk, you can drink, you can fight. Kind of a good time if you go to the right place. And I will cut the Sending there and offer no more explanation.
Yeah, you just get like this like faint like, what the fuck? As a response.
That sounds about right.
Well,
Seems like a lot of length to go through to bring back one person.
Yeah, I think also, like, I mean, I assume Mina can remember enough to do the job. On the way back, she ain't gonna remember very much other than maybe the taste of jerky.
alright, well, Malcha should probably be buried then, and I will try to raise dead the other 3 paladins.
Okay. You first go to Lieutenant Bronzebottom and cast Raise Dead. The diamonds dissolve, and the lieutenant sits up.
Yeah, welcome back. Your little escapade didn't work out too great. Sit tight, we'll fill you in. And I'll
Yeah,
go
well,
to
he sees
Angela.
Major Hazmir standing there, and he like shoots to his feet and salutes him.
Wow, don't skip a beat, do ya?
Then he doubles over in pain.
Whatever you just did, I would like to suggest not doing that.
Oh, you came
that-
back from the dead. It's
Well,
a
yeah,
painful
do
and
that,
tiring
but whatever.
experience.
I believe that's usually fairly exhausting.
Yeah, I'll give him lay on hands for like,
Okay.
I don't know, 5 points, just so he's slightly less dying.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, next body.
All right, you go through the next 3 bodies. Diamonds dissolve. 2 of them sit up. The other does not.
All right, search for tattoos.
Slap on the cheek a couple times.
I'm
search
not
for-
making a special trip for these fools, but while I'm up there, I'll ask.
Search for holy symbols, tattoos of blood.
All right, yeah, you start searching for tattoos. There's no investigating check for this because it's pretty big. In fact, it looks like he's got like his whole chest tattooed as one giant Ningande crest.
Ningande crest.
Sorry, not Ningande, Venetia. My bad. I've been saying Ningande.
Those eyes. Oh my god.
He's a spy!
The spy,
No,
the
he's
spy.
not. He's not. It's Venetian crest. My bad.
Okay.
Alright. I'll let it slide this time. Well, Major, it seems one of your, whatever rank this guy is not reporting for duty this time.
He kind of like puts like his hand, his chin kind of thoughtfully and says, well, suppose the contracts do say until death. Suppose we should revise that. Well.
Yeah, that's your business, not mine.
One of the paladins you raise, like not the lieutenant, kind of turns to the major, says, "So does that mean we can go home?"
How do you plan to do that?
He ignores you, kind of looking at the major, and the major's glaring at him. And he says, "Oh, I'll send you home all right with my boot broken off up in your ass."
I'd suggest something less important, like the knee guard or something.
I have extra boots.
Ooh, wonderful. All right, then boot break away.
Now,
More
you have enough. You have like, what's your wisdom?
12.
Oh, good. So you would get that he was implying that he has enough to
The boot-
break one off up
put
in
it-
your ass too, if necessary.
He doesn't know what I'm into.
No, no, but he didn't mean that as a.
It was a threat, not a promise, but he doesn't have to know that.
Yeah, yeah. The other guy chose. Yeah, if I wasn't in, I wouldn't have come back.
So, we're going to be taking a couple days to recover and prepare, for lack of a better term.
Prepare for what? The lieutenant asks. Or sorry, no, actually, they were there. Never mind. Sorry. For some reason, I thought you hadn't resurrected these guys after the battle. Forgive me.
You are going to see a few more dragons lying around in the next few days. Don't worry too much about it. He'll be fine.
They'll be friendly.
Just don't shoot them with
don't-
crossbow bolts.
Don't worry about it. Just don't shoot him.
They'll be relatively friendly as long as you don't attack them. Yeah, we'll be
The
fine.
major turns to Lord Commander Odwick. You've known these guys longer than I have. Can we trust that these dragons aren't going to eat us? Odwick just shrugs.
You can trust that we'll try to bring you back if they do.
You aren't going to be in a worse position than you were yesterday.
Dragons may or may not have accidentally started the first move.
We may have accidentally a war, but it's fine.
You see, what happened was,
Oh,
well, actually,
don't
do I
worry
even
about that.
understand-
There was war as soon as they took our port. Look, if you can get us friendly dragons, by all means, go right ahead. I have no complaints about friendly dragons.
All right, and then I'm going to do a very over-theatric turn, yell "Ka-chow!" and true polymorph Gilbert into a dragon. An adult silver dragon.
Hey, that's a neat trick. How many times can you do that?
Once a day.
Did you have to do that right then and there?
Too late.
Was
Yeah,
taking
that
a
was
shit
about-
behind
I
the
mean,
bush.
Gilbert, if you're resisting it, I believe you do get a save.
Yeah.
How
I have
long
a
does it
phone
take to
call
cast?
make.
Would he have had time
takes
to
an
be like,
action.
"Wait."
one action.
Raised Dead does take an hour each time, so if Gilbert has something to do it, he's got 5 hours.
That
Just
is
bring up
true.
a point. How many combatants
sense.
do we have on our side that we raised up?
How many do you think we really need?
Don't need any, but I'd like to know.
That'll become. Wait, Under, do I still have to make that save?
You don't have to make it. You can choose to just accept the spell. I'm saying that I believe it gives you one.
Yes. What kind of save?
Wisdom.
Oh, it's a magic effect.
Would he have
Indeed.
had time to do his thing before he
Depends on what he
asked
wants to
us
do. He hasn't said what he wants to do, so I can't tell him if 5 hours was enough.
Oh, what I want to do?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
did you wanna
5
do?
hours have
Oh,
passed on this hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In that case, I believe is something that would be able to be done in that time.
Okay, what are
Uh,
you doing or trying to do?
Going
I
to the
shall
bathroom.
DM you.
Probably something terrible.
He's just going to the bathroom. It's fine. Don't worry.
So do you think these guys have like a backup plan if we just were to, teleport in there and try to telefrag the leadership at the keep? Odwick, did you have anything like that? Is that a state secret?
Hold on, I gotta respond to Gilbert.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
Guys,
reason I was asking about the combatants was
All right, what
to
are you
see
asking,
how many
Odwick?
troops we can work with.
So what Mina said is she asked the party how hard it would be to telefrag the new leadership in there, just to minimize, unnecessary casualties. But then she asked Odwick if he knew anything about that, if he had anything like that set up, or if he could even talk about that.
Well, normally I would defer this to Court Wizard. However, he died. It's been my experience that wizards teleporting people around are not able to, as you say, telefrag an enemy combatant. They always require an empty space with which to teleport into. And attempting to teleport into non-empty spaces, I've usually seen result in minor errors in positioning, resulting
I
in a
don't even
person
know
appearing
that.
in
Sorry,
an
Under.
empty space, or not working at all.
Sorry, Under. That's more shorthand, out of character shorthand for just teleporting in there and then
If we
murdering
teleport
them
like 20
in
feet
like a
above the keep
mundane
tower.
fashion.
I
Because we've
don't
been
get
in
what you're
her
asking, man.
office. We've been in her office and whatnot. Like,
Uh-huh.
is there? It's really asking Odwick if there is any defense they might have for us teleporting in there, and then just murdering them in the normal shanking them sense of the word.
No, as I said before, there's no magical defenses on the keep. It is stone and wood.
We won't even need a dragon if we're doing that.
Well, we wouldn't know if they've set anything up yet.
It's been a couple days.
But it's worth knowing, like, what to expect the standard procedure to be. I mean, I think the resources Odwick had were lesser than what these guys are working with, so maybe they're going to do it. But it's worth knowing. It's worth thinking about.
Now, I do know of a spell that allows the user to anticipate when a teleportation is about to happen in their zone of control. Can I make an Arcana check to see if there's any way to mitigate and or eliminate such an advantage?
He wants a spell to anticipate anticipation of teleportation.
Oh,
Okay,
never
sure.
mind.
Let's make an Arcana check.
At 20,
Go
net
ahead
20,
and,
net 20.
well, this is mostly an unspent day, so I'll go ahead and enhance ability intelligence.
I'll give you a bardic inspiration.
That reminds me, Mick, you never got me that list of spells.
Yes, I will do that. You gave me an bardic inspiration, or is that a meme?
I'll do it. Mine's only a D8. I never give anybody bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Let's make that 40. Why not? You genius.
All right. You do not know of any particular spell that could tell you if a place you cannot see is under the effect of any particular spell, including this anticipation spell. However, you do know it is just a spell. And if you had an agent nearby, they could dispel this spell right before you teleport in. Also, you're pretty sure that this spell would not function inside of a larger anti-magic field, though that would also prevent teleportation at all.
All right.
Anti-magic field and then drop in way above them. Airdrop.
That is true. With the 4, you would also understand that that it has a range. If you were to appear just outside of that range, and in a manner as to cause your immediate dynamic entry, it would be fairly close to teleporting in.
Or also we could airdrop from a flock of dragons, which would be twice as badass, although it would be not as good an idea.
I would love that idea. I could shoot as I'm falling. That would be, because I'm a monk, I could shoot as I'm falling. That would be so.
I'm just saying Dragon Air Raid sounds pretty metal.
Yeah, we can. We can just teleport high and dive down. We can teleport high, jump off the dragons, and then the dragons dive. Or we can just fly in.
Just brainstorming.
Indeed. So we got Odwick and 3 other people.
Sure.
I can barely hear you.
Odwick, Major, Bronze Bottom, and you.
Yes, me.
Our bards be playing this when we ride in on the dragons.
How many pounds of equipment do we have to work with?
Major, what's the last guy's name?
Joe.
Joe.
Mama.
It's about to get goofy. Okay, we got 200 pounds, you said, Sleuth of Iron? Are you willing to...
Does the Major have... Actually, did anyone ever clear out the rubble in this watchtower?
Nope.
There should be an opening in the basement there, where I acquired a cursed sword.
How
Thing is, it further collapsed on itself while we were gone.
How about we sift through the rubble and see if there's some equipment we can use?
Actually, this raises a question I have. What are your guys' ability to produce food stuff?
Let's see.
Like a lot of food stuff.
If a squirrel comes close enough to me, I can completely eviscerate it.
Like
Day, I can create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water. The next day.
If somebody were to provide me with, let's say, a deer, I could fabricate it into a deer's worth of meat.
If somebody could provide me with food, I could eat it.
I can't make food either. I can make water.
Well, anybody can make water.
Yeah.
I can't make water, but I can find wine.
Technically speaking, I can purify food and drink. So, I mean,
yeah, I can.
We could render War's statement still as gross, but more useful.
Well, I meant I also have create and destroy water spell. Is what I meant. I mean, but yeah.
I actually use my familiar to survey how fucked this watchtower is to see whether or not it would take a significant amount of effort to clear through it. And also maybe to see if there's equipment we can scavenge.
If I cast program illusion.
And I do the thing.
I have a question.
If I cast programmed illusion, can I target Dragon Gilbert with it so that we can have
I don't think
a
it works
theme
that
song?
way. It targets a space and you make an illusion in it. I don't know what you mean by target him. It's nonsensical given the nature of the spell.
Yeah, I wanted to make ye olde loudspeakers on our dragon.
Could we mount ballistas to the dragon, and then when he transformed back, they just fall off?
Maybe?
I mean, because I could get with war, and we could make some giant exploding bolts for the ballistas, and we could rain hell down on them from the back of a dragon.
We are trying to minimize civilian casualties, which would...
We just shoot the keep.
How accurate are you going to be?
I mean, it's
You're-
general area to keep. You know, these
Firing
are
a
exploding.
ballista.
You know, these are
ballista
exploding.
with exploding crossbow bolts.
Yeah, in the general area.
How close is the nearest civilian center to the keep?
That
I
would
don't-
be probably the sword and board. Let me pull up a map real quick.
Yeah, acceptable. Oh no, Mina will have something to say about that. Can't blow the.
No. There are civilian structures. There are some like houses and stuff that are 30 feet away from it.
What are the odds that they haven't evacuated the town when we show back up?
Where would
There's
they
a
evacuate
pretty
people?
good chance that they'll just threaten to oof them if we don't stand down and comply. So I wouldn't
Okay,
bet.
but then the plan continues. The best way to end a hostage situation is take the hostage out of the equation. We proceed as planned.
I think
Kill the hostage?
answer is to, I mean, we're not going to have a flawless solution to this. They have a lot of power.
I have a lot of
Uh,
manpowder. I don't know what that means,
yeah.
but I have lots of.
Me neither. But
It's like guy liner.
I think cutting the leadership off is going to make it a little harder for them to make a decision like that. I mean, you might have some individual holdouts who want to have some hostages, but they're not going to all be able to make a concerted effort without the leadership present. So I think the best thing we can do is try to knock that out in as concise a way as possible.
So that raises another question. Do we send warning to the commissar, or do we only send warning to
How about we do this? Why don't we send the message to the leader that in 2 days we are coming to liberate the town. If you are still there, you will be liberated.
I don't think that's a good idea at all. I think that when you need to shoot, shoot. Don't talk.
I do want to warn Vorcha and the Sword and Board proprietor.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours.
I think he's more likely to get himself into trouble while waiting if we tell him.
He might be in trouble right now. This
Yeah,
thing could be framed that he was boarding
us.
you know,
Yeah.
against
He boards everybody.
He does, but this could be framed like that. These people are foreigners. They,
Yeah, and he's a hometown guy that runs the bar. Yeah. Siding with conspirators and revolutionaries. That's enough of a conspiracy theory for a foreign national to take him at least into.
I'm less worried about them taking a specific person we like hostage because we have the means to we can unfuck that. after we fuck them, we can
That's
unfuck the
That's very true. That's very true. That's
we
very
can't unkill the population, but we can fix smaller problems.
Theory, we could, but it would take a lot of time, powerful magic, and diamonds. And I'm not sure we have the resources, especially readily available.
Well, then, if that's the case, then we do it like a strike team. We take the heavy hitters, we teleport them in, while another crew makes a distraction, and the heavy hitters take out the leadership. Before anybody knows what happens, fight.
Sleuth, check your PM really quick.
Ooh, secrets. I like secrets.
PM your thought on that.
How big is the keep on like what's the interior like dimensions wise? I know we haven't been all over it, but we've been in there.
It is a stone square tower. It is about 500 feet to a side. The first floor is more or less like a receiving chamber, waiting room, with Vorch's desk towards the back and some stairwells going up from there.
How many entrances are we aware of?
As far as you're aware of, it only has the one entrance on the first floor.
So
there's also no windows on the first floor.
Teleport in, deal with the leadership. We can, I mean, if you guys like, I would like to just note, I'm not all about hostages. So this is a strike. This is not not like that. So yeah, go in there, take out the leadership. I will hold the door. While you guys do whatever we got to do, and we'll try to, funnel them if we can, if they're dumb enough to try and go in. Otherwise, that should give us the time to get out and move on to our next stage of our plan, which is probably non-existent right now, but we might want to think about. You got to have a solution that allows us to sweep 800 men out of the town. I guess if we can eliminate the leadership with a show of overwhelming force and then display them from the roof of the keep in an intimidating fashion, along with and then at the same time have a bunch of dragons show up, we might be able to force a surrender, like an unconditional one.
Well, we could do that by splitting the party and going in on two fronts. We need a loud show of force, a dragon with a spell slinger on top, just firing spells at key locations that, where no civilians are, a random empty building or something, an empty park, something like that, just for a show of force.
How many dragons can we get? I mean, reasonably.
How long do you want to spend on this?
Well, I mean, it's really how long do you think we can afford to wait?
Odwick? They are expecting us to go on an expeditionary force in... Yeah, how long was that? Was that tomorrow already?
They were up until recognized all members of the parties got into open combat with the local force.
I never harmed a hair on anyone's head.
I just broke a guy's nose and stabbed a special forces guy who had it coming.
I'm sure they'll take that into account fairly and equivocally.
Yeah. Yep.
They have the eyewitness reports of the people you terrified.
Tina is literally wearing the most like garish possible outfit. There's
Yeah.
absolutely
Yes.
misidentify her at all. Her
Then we'll
swords
be
are
fighting. Then we'll be fighting more guards when we go to pull you guys down off of the stake.
meh.
Just point me where I can shoot.
They can't put me on the stake for prolonged periods of time.
Well, let me put it this way. Each day of preparation we give them gives us another dragon.
How many dragons do we want?
Yes.
Well, dumb question.
All of them.
I mean, one dragon off to what, 120 something plus?
Well, yes, but I wouldn't expect repeat dragon attacks to be nearly as effective.
I think if we want to maximize our show of force here, so the problem here is dragons are only going to obey your orders for a limited time. After that, they're going to behave based on you. Now that means you got to convince them this is the right thing.
Hold on. What I'm saying is I'm going to be turning
Polymorphing, which is fine.
I'm going to be turning the willing party members into dragons.
Like
Turn
Herr
those
Nordwick
guys
is a
into
dragon.
dragons. Those guys should be dragons because and Mina's gonna whisper, but she's gonna stage whisper, they're kinda useless.
I wholeheartedly agree. We take these guys we fished off the poles and we turn them into the dragons. That'll at least make them halfway decent in the fight.
All right, so we're looking
mean-
at
If we are launching a strike at the keep itself, they'll be quite useful. They'll be inside tight quarters. It'll be difficult to outflank them, and their capabilities as paladins would be most effective.
Wait a minute. When you guys were in the keep, in the office, the layout of the office changed to suit who was entering it, correct?
Correct.
Cool.
Are you sure that the office isn't a Mordenkainen?
Well, he said they didn't have magical defenses. I think that would have qualified as that.
Oddwick didn't have magic chairs that I recall.
Also, I think all that was meant there was like the office was rearranged.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like the same office, had a window looking out over the city. Just had some very uncomfortable chairs. The chairs weren't magical, by the way. They're not the same chairs. They're just physically uncomfortable to sit in.
I don't think my ass believes that. Those were definitely magic chairs.
Was the room rearranged? The furniture inside the room in a different order, or did you keep the same?
They always
Yes.
had the right number of chairs. It could be magic, or it could be just really good information gathering, which means that we definitely want more dragons. Because I think we're bad at that, and we're much better at show of overwhelming force.
Yeah.
Playing to our is probably a good idea.
all right, so Oddwick, Major, do you want to be dragons?
Oddwick says no, the Major says yes.
That mad lad.
We can undragon you.
We
Oh,
can.
can't we? We can
undragon
dispel
you
magic.
later, yeah.
It's not permanent, guys. I don't know why you keep acting like it is.
I'm just mentioning it to the characters who might be apprehensive.
Oddwick doesn't look apprehensive so much as he's just not interested. He doesn't seem to trust you wholly.
Fair enough.
As far as the Major's concerned, being a dragon would be awesome.
I like the Major.
Childhood dream and all that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like the major. Bronze butt. Joe.
I prefer brass ass.
Too bad we haven't seen a bronze dragon.
One
They're
That's
they're-
really true polymorph.
Dragons, yes, no.
Yes, they both say yes.
Alright.
Joe specifically asks if you can turn him into a blue dragon.
I have seen a blue dragon. He was a real bastard, but you're not going to be turned into a real bastard by the magic, so it'll probably be fine.
He smiles at you.
Major
Oh,
is
I'll
Joe
be a
real
bastard, all
bastard.
right, just not to you.
Major is Joe a bastard, and I'm gonna regret this.
He leans forward and says, I'm pretty sure his mother was married. No.
Boots.
Okay,
Only
so
pretty sure.
are we all pretty much in agreement that we're trying to do this in such a way so as to intimidate? And I mean, we'll obviously kill anybody who resists, but we were trying to intimidate and stop these guys from continuing to fight. We are aiming for a surrender, not killing them to the last man.
It would certainly make a stronger statement if a almost entirely intact force goes retreating with tail between its legs without needing significant.
So you're not
Loss
killing
of
anyone?
No, I think we're going to go in there into the castle and slaughter them to a man, and then everybody
Oh,
on the
yeah.
walls will have the opportunity to leave,
Yeah,
as long as they don't try to take hostages.
yeah. The castle gets
Oh.
annihilated. Anyone
Oh,
outside
we
of it.
won't need dragons then. We'll just teleport in and go to town.
The dragon-
I would prefer the
dragon
tower
doors.
remain standing when you're done with it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mean we were going
I'd
to
appreciate
level
that
the
as well.
building. Merely that it will have a new coat of paint on it.
I
kill
can do
anything.
right.
I'm not going to promise anything about any structures.
we probably have the manpower to help rebuild if that's the case. So you just hold us to that. I mean, I'm not in a position to negotiate that.
I don't lift things. I just shoot.
I'm ready to go when you guys are. I think.
We're
I
gonna
don't.
need days of preparation. We're also going to. How much metal would it take to fabricate plate armor for dragons?
A lot.
Like 100 pounds, 200 for.
Let me first look up what the size of an adult dragon is. Oh, they're huge.
I do believe it's huge.
Yeah.
A huge creature. Just gonna go up with the huge.
This is gonna be bad. But I want to ride one of the dragons in.
What do we have at the Kobold treasure hoard? Do we have any large amount of metal? Even if it's like gold, it's probably worth more than nothing, right? Can we just coat the dragons in gold armor?
I don't know if we still have access to that hoard.
You could go look. We could go look.
We
Hey, but I have an
could go
idea.
look.
What if we destroyed the city and then undestroyed it?
How would you undestroy
That's
the city?
How?
That's worse than not destroying the city.
By
I
not
don't like the
destroying
sound
it for
of
real.
that.
We wouldn't
Wait.
actually destroy the city. We would just make it look like it was destroyed.
Mirage Arcanum?
Yep, that's the one. Except that's not how you pronounce it, Gilbert.
Mirage Arcane? I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
Yeah. The idea I came up with would be like, if we Mirage Arcaned Port Namor to look like it was on fire or it exploded or something, and then just dispelled it.
Wait. What if that kills the civilian?
We can deal with that.
Not okay with killing the civilians. Your plan was
An
great
expensive
to that.
Also, what happened to that prick Tacitus?
I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Knowing the Ngandas, they probably bought him off.
Probably.
Oh, then he's gonna die.
Wait, hold on.
So
He bought once, he can be bought again.
basically,
Guys,
to make a set of barding for a huge creature would require a weight of materials 16 times the equivalent for a humanoid.
I think that's a lot of iron.
We'll just go check on the gold hoard.
It's only
And
a half ton of metal.
Yeah, we'll just go check on the gold hoard and see if there's enough there that we can coat at least, 1 or 2 VIPs in some gold swag.
I mean,
Silver
really
dragon,
need to?
golden armor. That is so terrible.
Wait, what if we made the fire non-destructive though? Like all of the
What?
buildings are on fire, and if you touch it, you'll catch fire and it'll hurt like hell, but it doesn't
many-
actually burn you or kill.
How many dragons do you think it would take to get an unconditional surrender with the leadership there? And how many of them need gold armor?
I honestly, how many dragons do we have currently? 3?
It's 150 to 1, right? So they have 850
Yeah, about
left.
150 men against 1 dragon.
So if we put 8 dragons and a couple are in gold armor, 1 or 2 are in gold armor, that's probably enough, right?
I'm not even sure we need that.
But it's not about that. It's like, if you're not sure you need that, how sure are you that that's enough?
I mean, something we could do is simply have the 3 dragons circle the city every day for a few hours and simply break their will to fight with the constant fear of dragon attack.
It would work even better with 8 dragons.
Well, if we want to send 1 dragon out tonight and then have 2 tomorrow, I think they'll get the message.
But then also know what's happening. They're
So
probably
we-
also gonna know that these are magic dragons, so we're gonna want to be careful about dispel magic.
It's not the easiest thing to dispel, but that is a fair point.
That's why I'm thinking we use them as a psychological weapon initially.
How far away can you dispel magic from?
It's like 60 feet.
Okay. So yeah, if they stay wide out, it's probably reasonable. I mean, there's a limit to how many dragons they can dispel. I bet if we had 8 dragons, they can't dispel all of them before we burn the wall.
Dispel magic is 120 feet.
Doesn't
God
change
damn it,
anything.
Mick.
But yeah, well, so how long are we waiting? A week and a half, 2 weeks to turn everybody into dragons?
I don't know how many.
That seems a little bit excessive.
I'd rather not be turned to a dragon.
I mean, Mina doesn't want to be a dragon either, but more dragons is probably more convincing.
Yeah, I don't want to be a dragon either.
I think we should just turn like 1 or 2 people into dragons and only spend like a day.
Well, we can turn multiple people into dragons, the NPCs we've talked about, and then we can we also, in addition to that, turn like 1 tree into a dragon? Because for the 24 hours, we'll have them listening to us.
For 1 hour, they're under
It's
my
1
control.
hour?
After that, it's a real crapshoot, but we might be able to convince it.
Let's maybe not do that.
I think 2 dragons is enough.
Actually, here's another question.
wanna
Can we
really
turn
lowball
me
in the
into
dragon.
a Death Knight?
Haven't you already turned yourself into a Death Knight?
I know, but can we do it again?
As a
Oh,
dragon? You want to be a dragon Death
No, I just mean guys I've looked it up. A Death Knight is CR 17. Gilbert is level 17. Technically speaking, Gilbert could potentially be turned into a Death Knight.
Well, I'm in charge of the dragon situation, so I would like to go rest.
Alright, so who's being turned into a dragon?
I am, but do me last.
Okay, what about
Major.
the pretend fire though?
suppose it's a problem to worry about after we take care of business, right?
Basil, can you scry on the kobold's horde? See
Yeah,
if
sure.
that has been occupied.
I've been there, so I can just scry on the location.
Yes. You cast
Uh,
scrying. You get. You're using a bowl or a mirror. What?
I'm using a crystal ball now, actually.
Okay. All right. So you see this large hall. It would appear that there is a large red dragon currently sitting on your horde. There are small mounds of dead kobolds scattered throughout the room, and the walls appear to have been splashed red.
Well, there you go.
Do
Well,
these?
we have
Well,
another
wait.
person that needs educating.
Wait a minute. These guys need new dragon cloaks. We have new friends. They need
Yeah.
dragon cloaks.
Yeah, I need a
I
new
mean,
cloak too. Yeah.
I have more dragon leather from the
But it
first
wouldn't
time
be
the
fresh.
griffin was pooped away. I can make cloaks for everybody.
Maybe it's a dragon? Large? Huge?
Large.
Just
Huge,
large?
if it's adult. Nothing. Hey, Under.
Mhm.
Casting sending on somebody, that would disrupt their sleep, right?
It would wake them up, yes.
So we
Guys,
just do that every hour.
how long are we planning on waiting?
Couple days at least, right?
What?
Just say hi.
Yeah,
Every hour.
since Gilbert doesn't have much use for his spell slots, he's going to spend that harassing the commissar.
Just every hour and a half. Hey, Commissar, guess what? Chicken butt. Haha.
Well, don't do
Okay.
it yet. Do it at night so that they can't sleep.
Oh, of course, at night. We're gonna let her get through a full day and then just harass her.
Sure.
Don't be mean though. Just keep making demands.
Oh yeah, Gilbert's gonna just start going through just a list of surrender demands.
We should take the Battlestar Galactica approach to this. Just attack like every hour.
War.
Hey, Commissar, we're currently circling your city with dragons. And then eventually, one of those times, we're actually going to be circling the city with dragons.
So while you're watching this crystal ball, because scrying lasts like what, a half hour?
I think it's 10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay. At the end of your 10 minutes, you see the dragon perk up suddenly. And you didn't hear anything, though you do hear the clatter of coins hitting the ground as he passes out of sight, out of the tunnel that leads to the exit.
Oh.
It didn't look at the camera, did it?
Did not.
All right. Well, it doesn't have true sight.
I don't think a dragon of that size would have true sight anyway.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I'm going to cast See Invisibility.
Okay.
Is there anything invisible or ethereal around us?
You see men stretching from here to the horizon, armed with pikes and standing with an Ngandi. No, you don't see anything.
Ninjas.
All right.
An Ngandian ninja force.
So Gilbert has requested to be turned into a dragon last. So Major, you're next up.
Uganda forever.
Okay. He steps forward.
How tough are you, Major? How many times have you been stabbed before you died?
How tough am I?
Have you died, actually?
I've never died.
No, you're missing out.
Oof.
Actually, maybe you're not. It can kind of suck. I had fun.
The dying part sucks. The dead part is okay.
Yeah, soldiers
Yeah,
like me, we
there you
don't
go.
die. We just rest for a while.
Just missing in action.
How many
Alright,
times
now
have
we
you
get to the point.
rested for a while?
No, 2 or 3 times. Nothing terrible.
Well, you beat me there. I've only done it once.
If
How
you guys
tough are you?
are counting,
How tough of a dragon can I make you?
Oh, don't worry about making me the toughest dragon. Make me the most dangerous one.
Dragons
say
get
that
tougher as they get
silver.
more dangerous.
I'd say silver. If you make him a silver, he'll have 2 different breath weapons. One to freeze people, another one to paralyze them. And
Being
nothing
frozen,
scarier than a dragon you
paralyzed.
can't run away from.
being
We should
frozen
make at
paralyzed.
least one that breathes fire.
That sounds like a great way to lose control of the situation. I speak from experience.
Ice doesn't spread.
If you need fire, I can make fire.
Well, I was going to make fake fire.
I have real
Uh,
fire.
Table the fire for now. We'll deal with that later. All right.
I'm not a fan of fire in the town, just as a rule. But if you need real fire to spark fake fire, that's fine.
Oh, guys, when this is all over, we all need to turn into dragon turtles and kill Tacitus.
You know, Major, I'm thinking adult dragon. Do you think you're tough enough for that?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Let's see if this works. Kachow, adult silver dragon, but true polymorph.
Okay. What do you turn him into?
Adult silver dragon.
All right, an adult silver dragon.
CR16.
Oh. It doesn't work. He's only CR8.
I was thinking young. Young sounded about right.
All right, well, we're gonna have to go smaller than that next time.
He looks
You can
disappointed.
make him a young green.
Have we seen a
Let's
green
think what
dragon?
else. Yeah, we've seen a green dragon.
The black
You
one.
I
remember
haven't.
Yoda?
In fact, you had one
Alright.
holding the line when you went to the abyss.
Mhm.
Right, Cursioda was great.
She'd be nice if she wasn't evil.
All right, well, I'm going to start. I'm going to start sifting through the rubble of the tower and look for metal to fabricate into dragon armor. I'm probably going to need to fabricate several plates and have it resemble more scale or lamellar armor.
Okay.
Yeah, since I'm not
you
doing anything
start
else,
picking
why don't I
things.
help?
All right, why don't you guys give me a, let's call it an investigation check.
Am I getting help with this? Someone
Sure.
was saying, but, all right.
Yeah.
Come on, half ton of steel.
I'm sure we can get a half brick easily. And rubble.
Does a 29 get? I'm gonna lucky that actually. plus 19. Does a 32 get me a half ton of steel?
All right, so you guys are digging through the rubble, and it's mostly stone, a little bit of rotting wood here and there. And you keep digging, and you keep digging. An hour passes, you keep digging, you keep digging. Finally,
I'll also have the robot be helping us. If that
you
matters.
finally get down to where it looks like it might have been like a kitchen or something. You hit pay dirt, pots and pans, iron ones. You think you found maybe 30 pounds of iron.
How many kitchens do you think are in this tower, Dean?
Well, it just hit me. You can teleport. Why don't we teleport to that city where we got these fellas and just buy steel? We have money. That would be a lot more straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Out of character, you guys have been to a mine. Was that mine an iron mine? What was that mine with the kobolds in? With
It's not
where
quicker
Mon
in
was.
time. We could just get us a surplus shipment.
Have
disagree
you
with you,
guys
I'm just asking.
considered that we are way overcomplicating this, and we could probably do it with what we have on hand?
Or we could do it with all
Here's the
dragons,
thing.
Gilbert.
It takes half a ton of metal per adult dragon to make plate mail.
They're not all
Could
going
almost
to be
not
adult
make plate mail.
Yeah, but we are making at least one adult dragon.
Sir, AC default.
Do they get anything from the armor? What's the calculation look like?
How would
If
you
it's
know
plate,
the
it's going to be flat.
calculations?
Well, I suppose that's fair.
It won't hurt them. Probably.
Much. But that's acceptable.
Well, we could skip the armor and go for more dragons.
Yeah, an adult silver dragon has a base AC of 19. How the hell is full plate going to help?
Yeah.
Their natural armor is better.
Yeah, it sounds like we should be fine.
That sounds like we should be fine. Let's get more dragons.
I'm gonna need a day per person. Unless somebody else has true polymorph.
Who
Frick.
here could possibly have true polymorph?
How long does true polymorph last?
True polymorph is a 1 hour concentration. If you maintain concentration for that hour, it becomes permanent without concentration.
Until dispelled.
Yeah, important caveat.
There are ways to overturn it becomes indefinite. There's no set time limit.
Yeah, I can just do that. Or at least I will do that once the end of the day rolls around and like everyone's going to bed. Then I'll fucking.
So you have polymorph, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
We have somebody who can help us along and speed this up. We should true polymorph everything. Just let's get a bunch of people, not me, because I don't want to be a dragon.
Something else.
No.
I don't want to be a dragon.
Do you want to be something else that's not in melee range?
I like hitting things with this.
Alright, I cannot unfortunately true polymorph you into melee range, but I have other magic that can deal with that.
Problem solved.
All right, you guys are making camp on this hill.
Sounds like more or less.
Out of curiosity, how many instances of Mordenkainen's Magnificent Manor or Mansion or whatever can one person have active simultaneously?
I believe it's one.
you trying to force anybody who comes after us to deal with the Monty Hall problem?
Can I put a magnificent mansion in Lieutenant's magnificent mansion?
I think that that's a pretty definite no.
I
I still think we
Apparently,
should do
there's no limit.
something-
I mean, it's 7th level, so
Huh.
limit is how many simulacrums you want to do.
Huh.
I still think we should do something with Mirage Arcane.
If we didn't want them to retreat, we could do that to the boats, but we do want them to retreat.
Yeah, then why not create a fake fire that doesn't actually hurt people?
We could do fake
set the town.
we could fake scorched earth outside of the town, so they don't have an ability to examine it without coming out and being in range of the dragon
Right.
as a threat. And then we could loudly announce that they need to vacate the premises immediately. But that's a bluff. I prefer a hard show of actual force to a bluff.
So we go in, we set up a Mirage Arcane to cover our advance. We set up Mirage Arcane to
No, you can't use it for that. It doesn't conceal anything.
We can use it as a warning, but trying to be deceitful about it isn't going to help. Well, it might help, but it's. I think if they discover it's a bluff, like we lose negotiating power. I mean, dragons help, but it's going to make it harder to do this without any fatalities from the civilian population. We really don't want them having second thoughts. We want them to immediately be like, "Oh, no, thank you, nope," and then they want it. They give them a clear path to the boats.
But there's something we could do with it to accomplish that.
Yeah, I guess a fake fire burning a path, or you could fake, I don't know, what do you do to fake terrain that's inviting and looks nice and leads directly to the boats?
What about an army outside the walls?
That's not...
We could create, like, something that looks like an army, maybe.
Like an army of iron golems?
It would be an army of statues of iron golems.
I'm not.
What
Not
about
sure.
dust cloud behind the tree lines? Or something that looks like a bunch of people kicking up dirt.
Wait, what if we created just like a massive forest fire that looks like it's about to engulf the town?
They have a
There's-
massive clearing between it and them.
Oh yeah. What about a brush fire then?
They'd be able to put that out
They
too
have
easy.
walls and a moat?
Yeah.
Okay, then just like a massive, clearly magical firestorm engulfing the area surrounding.
I think we should just table the arcane, the illusion idea, unless we have something that would actually work.
What if we really fuck with them? We put a Balothman fleet out on their shores.
That's
Well, we
something
want
I
them to
can do.
leave though.
We want them to retreat from the sea.
So we want to give them a clear path to their ships.
What about a big fucking sign that says "Please leave and we won't kill you"?
I could skywrite that as a ritual. I mean, if we're gonna do this display of dragons and shit, that would be a one thing we could do.
Yeah, skywriting is absolutely acceptable. I think it would be better to have it just, you know. I think the dragons are already enough to tell them that we will kill them. So then we can just leave the skywriting to a positive message, something friendly, like get
we
the
could
fuck
just
out.
make an illusion of more dragons.
Just an illusion of dragons in the sky circling while we actually descend to attack.
Well, yeah, it's like we have like 3 or 4 dragons, but it looks like we have like 40 or 100.
Right.
Yeah.
We're preserving our strength because we feel like making a point.
Exactly.
Yeah, we put those far enough back they can't be checked for, for anything, and that would be
Yeah,
good.
we'll
They
make it
can't be-
look like we have more waiting in reserve outside the city.
That sounds totally fine to me. Again,
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
it works.
As it stands, the plan is Lieutenant and I turn the volunteers in the party and company to adult or young silver-ish, probably one blue dragon. And then we have a Mirage Arcane when we decide to attack to fake a horde of dragons, and then we attack from there.
Are we gonna give them any opportunity to fuck off? I'm sure they won't. But since we're taking multiple days, maybe.
What
just
we're gonna
maybe
do, though,
actually fuck
what
off.
we're gonna do is what we need is for our actual main force to go into the keep as quickly as possible, figuratively and literally, take the head off of the organization, and then we need to make that, like, we need to put that on display. I don't mean to be grotesque, but we need to make that known in a quick and obvious fashion. Drop their flag from the top of their keep. That will let them know that's fallen. I assume they have their flag flying or a banner, and we
Yes.
can cut that down.
That was the first thing we
When-
saw.
When we're on
so-
the route,
I
I'll
mean,
tell them that we're coming and tell them that if they strike their flags, they will be given sufficient time to leave port and return home. How's that sound? If they refuse, then we attack as we're planning, take the keep, strike the flags ourselves, and then ensure that the rest of the army is thoroughly demoralized.
prefer the element of surprise. I don't. I prefer that to advanced warning. I mean, if we feel bad, we can, we can give those officers we've killed a chance to come back and send them away afterward. I mean, it's expensive, but this is a war. People die. That's how it goes. They came here for conquest. I think it's reasonable to have this happen. I don't think it's an unreasonable course of action.
All right.
Want to
Odwick.
minimize fatalities, but this is
Odwick, is Mr. Vorcha able to be discreet if given information about an impending attack?
Vorcha. Yes, he can be discreet. That being said, He is he's a clerk, a civil servant. He likely holds no true loyalty to either side. And if he thinks that we are going to lose, he will tell them about that information in a heartbeat.
All right. And with our plan as it is, do you think the Sword and Board Inn would be in any danger?
Do you plan on raising parts of the town?
We don't plan on it, but
If anything is on
Unless-
fire, I don't think any of us plan to be responsible for it. But we don't know what they're going to do.
Well, I mean, Ogarth has generally been pretty good about staying out of political spats. So, unless you plan on taking the fight to the board itself, I don't see any particular risk to that building. That being said, there's always the chance of accidents and that they may decide to just burn the city down rather than hand it over.
No, an answer to that, because once they're on their boats, I mean, we've got them in a barrel.
That being said, I might have a solution in the event that civilian casualties are catastrophic.
is this your whatever you do, paladin thing?
Yes. Yes, this is great paladin.
All right.
I'm reassured. Yeah, definitely entirely reassured by that.
Oh. Anything to add? Or do we just
Well,
keep making
we've
our
added
preparation?
enough.
You gonna do anything?
Who's gonna be? Let's see who's gonna be in the assault. Like, who is going to be entering the keep to deal with the leadership directly, and who's
I'll
gonna be?
in on the assault if. Yeah, I can go in on the.
I mean, I assume anybody who's not a dragon is going in. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
can be.
mean, I'm not the toughest person in the party, but I can go in. You're likely to need multiple
If you wanna
arcanists.
maybe keep to the roof and keep an eye on things, it might be not a terrible idea. But we're starting to talk about spreading ourselves a little thin at that point.
Yeah, I think
I really want speed and overwhelming force wherever we are. Is probably the best bet.
Yeah, I can aid you to the 5th level, and I could also. Oh, if we hit the hookah, that's another thing. Give us
Lieutenant, you
a
should
first-
stay with one of the dragons, or I could stay with one of the dragons if you want to go in with the party. I'll leave that decision up to you. I'm fine either way.
Probably
Right.
probably best to stick one of you with Gilbert.
I'll be right back.
He's probably gonna be the most aggressive and also probably the toughest dragon. So, and also the one that is the worst consequences to us if he's immediately wrecked.
If I go back to being a paladin, I'm still gonna be there. I'm just
Yeah, but if you
Different
go back to
capacity.
being a paladin way up in the air and then you get smushed,
We both have
or
Featherfall.
that makes me feel better.
what?
You have Featherfall? Is that true?
No.
Oh, that
It's been
changes
months
things a
since
little bit.
I have that.
All right. Well, in that case, I still think it's probably best to not let you get smashed on the rocks.
Oh, who's going into the keep?
Mina, for sure.
Most of the non-dragon party is likely. I would like to stay outside, but I'm not against going inside.
Mina, since this might benefit you, or actually, yeah, totally. You've
All right, I'm
mastered all
back.
forms of weapon combat, right?
Pretty
You can use
good
any weapon.
at. Yeah.
Then I will loan you this Iron Horn of Valhalla. Use it well.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much.
I'd like that back when this is over.
Is it
Of course.
something you can use every day? Or every few days?
It's a 7-day recharge.
Okay.
Also, I think it only lasts like
Probably only 10 minutes or an hour.
in
1
case you
hour
need
or
to,
0.
in case you need more body.
I'd like to have the hook available to all party members. Each person that participates in that gets 19 temporary hit points. And I would like to cast 8 on the 5th level to myself, Nala, and the lieutenant before we depart.
Before
I
you
don't
do
think
that,
I'm ready because we
It's
haven't.
gonna be a few days before we depart.
Yeah, but just ahead of time. So that way no one says, we do the thing, and I don't get the thing set off. You know,
That's
So wait,
19.
what are we getting?
We are
19 temporary
planning-
hit points.
I am actually starting to doze off, so I think I'm going to head out. Sorry about that.
All right.
Good, man.
Okay.
Alright.
That's okay.
Good one.
Have a good one and good luck.
See ya.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
Later.
So yeah,
I've been up since 4, but fuck that. I'm staying.
So the paladins, Malta didn't back. The paladins and Oddwick have what? Just their clothes.
Yes, they have like their underclothes, even.
What else are we getting though? I wasn't here. We got 19 plus temporary hit points and what? That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
So yeah,
is today the day?
yeah. The two paladins, the major and Oddwick, are all just in like their underclothes. They have no real armor on, nor do they have weapons.
I will start fixing that with my 230 pounds of iron.
Okay.
How many of them use shields? Or would use shields?
Oddwick says he typically doesn't use a shield. He prefers a greatsword.
Okay, I got 24 pounds of steel to work with. They're going to be a higher quality. I could probably fit that in.
I'd assume heavy armor for the 3 paladins. Oddwick, full plate, half plate,
Full plate.
full plate. 5.
Yeah, the paladins basically are all willing to be dragons if you're turning them into dragons.
No, don't worry about gearing them up. Great. They'll probably be fit to be a young dragons.
Wow, that's
The paladins are all CR8, so you could turn them all into young dragons.
alright.
Go silver, go home.
There was one request for a blue dragon.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
And Bronze Bottom is going to have a bronze butt even as a dragon.
Of course.
Nobody knows why, but he does. Baffled Arcan for millennia.
There is maybe one problem. A young blue dragon is a CR9.
I guess you'll have to compromise. If he wants to be a dragon.
Turn him into something else that's blue.
How much blue paint do we have?
Turn him into a silver dragon with a strong blue tin.
There we go. Close enough.
I mean, a blue dragon wormling is only a CR3.
That'd be bad for his health.
Well, when you cast a spell, you pick what he turns into, so really it's up to you.
Alright, Joe. You want to be a blue dragon or a big dragon?
Bigger is better.
Alright, bigger it is. So with Lieutenant's assistance, 3 paladins into young silver dragon, Gilbert. Who else wanted to be a dragon?
Are you a dragon?
You can be a dragon. Mina, Dean, and Basil didn't want to be dragons, right?
Thank you.
I'd rather not.
Dragons polymorph into people.
But not the same people.
You
Just
can,
regular.
be, you can be a person, but you won't be you.
Yeah, you'll be, you might look like you, but you'll be super
But
weak,
I won't have skills.
commoner.
Yeah, skills.
Wanna talk like you, walk
So
like
we'll
you.
say 5 people then?
If we turn one of us into a dragon, we create a higher CR one.
Yeah, we're getting Gilbert and David.
Yeah.
So that means Mina's going to be the only melee combatant inside, right?
I can do melee.
I
I'm
can be
flexible.
a melee combatant inside.
Oddwood kind of points to himself and says, I also happen to know how to swing a sword.
Yeah, we're not polymorphing.
All right.
Why don't I actually fabricate a greatsword? You like greatswords, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll take 10 minutes to fabricate a greatsword.
Make it
Okay.
a baller great sword.
What are you fabricating it out of?
Out of high quality steel. The same steel I use for the
Right. I
bolt.
was just asking because I know that you guys also have a bunch of iron, which would not be as good of a weapon or armor.
Believe it or not, I spent 60 pounds of steel on the explosive arrows. And I had 20 surplus in addition to the 4 I had.
Do we have enough wood to smelt iron into steel? I'm not sure if that's the right word.
That is the right word.
Right. Do we have the resources required to make a furnace and smelt iron into steel?
Can someone remind me, can you just do that without adding anything to the iron?
Don't you need like corundum or something?
That's what I'm thinking in Skyrim, but that's Skyrim.
Yeah.
So,
I believe in real life you need
alloy,
a
ain't it?
source of what, steel?
so
Yeah.
it depends. You can make shitty steel quite easily. All you have to do is take some iron and stick it in a campfire.
From the coal.
Would I be able
okay.
to do that and fabricate the imperfections out of it?
No, you will not.
We fabricate
It
a
is
forge.
it is a chemically inferior steel. It is like shit steel is the material type.
That's because of lack of temperature, or
You really wanted some kind of spring steel.
So there is a lot of subtlety that goes into smelting good steel. Yes, you can take a bar of iron, stick it into a campfire, and it will absorb the carbon from the burning wood as it burns. Heating it up simply makes the process a little faster. This is known as diffusion smelting. Basically, you don't actually get the steel molten. The carbon simply diffuses into it. But this will produce real, the carbon goes in, and you can't really control how much carbon goes in. You can't control the cooling process all that well. In fact, you'll have multiple phases of steel being created inside your iron bar while you're doing this.
Is that how you make pig iron?
It's a similar process. Yes. Yeah, yes, essentially. This, while technically steel, would not really be suitable for making weapons. In fact, this kind of steel would probably be worse than raw iron for weapon making. It would be brittle. It would fracture almost like wood. Whereas the problem with pure iron is more that it tends to bend. It's kind of like using copper or bronze for weapons. Just it's a little harder, but really steel is what you want. The reason why ancient weapons were made this way was because you would heat it up in a fire or a forge, it would turn red hot, you start pounding it into shape. In the process of repeated reheatings, you're diffusing carbon into the steel, into the iron, turning it into steel, though of a really shitty quality. For making good swords, you basically need what would be known as ingot steel or crucible steel. You would need to get it fully molten with a controlled amount of carbon being added. The technology would exist in this time period. That's why high quality steel is available, though expensive.
Would that be like the equivalent of Mastercraft in this system?
No, master crafting is exactly what it sounds like. It's a masterly crafted sword.
It's still using those same high quality materials, but it is
Correct.
also
The workmanship is just significantly better.
I have an interesting question, Andre.
modern day they use spring steel, but yeah.
There was one time that I drank a dragon blood, and my very touch ignited things. I believe the mechanics were roughly that it adds an extra 8d6 or 6d6, some type of fire damage that's extreme. Could I forge a thing with my bare hands if I imbued them?
Super dangerous. I'll be right back.
So let me get this straight. Your plan is to create molten steel in your bare hands.
Yeah. If I'm immune to fire for that duration, yeah.
I don't recall if immune to fire was part of that.
I remember there's a risk of immolating.
Yeah, there was a risk of immolation when you did that. I'm also not sure it would get hot enough to actually melt steel. Typically in ancient times when they were getting steel, where they were getting fires that hot, they were using coal and a bellows to force oxygen into it to get it that hot. Normal fire wouldn't just do it alone. It's a predecessor to modern blast furnaces.
I can see if I can return to the mainland for a day to buy all the supplies we need, or we can just get by on less refined supplies.
I'm really concerned about it. I guess taking an extra day to get the supplies would be prudent.
I mean, Outwick, it's going to be your equipment. I'd say that's your call.
Sooner is better than later. Iron armor would be sufficient.
All right. Iron plate mail for Odwick. So fabricate 10 minutes, poof, iron.
Okay. There is a set of iron plate mail there. Well, it's better than nothing. I fought with worse.
Right, and that leaves. How much weight? Not a whole lot. Dean, you have 24 pounds of steel, right?
I have 16 now. Well, 18. Yeah.
18. So you made the great sword for Odwick.
Yeah.
All right. Ba, ba, ba. I have enough iron left to make chainmail or half plate and a shield for the remaining paladins.
They wanted to be dragons. I
It
don't
wouldn't
think-
hurt to give them armor if they're shot out of their dragon form.
I see. I think the shields would be better off left to me if they're going to get a -1 penalty. So relatively low weight for the bang they get. Depending on their arms too.
Well,
They like long swords.
Oh, that's yeah. I can accommodate for that.
Are the paladins, are you coordinated?
They all answer in unison, yes.
Coordinated enough
Very
to
coordinated.
get by in half plate.
The Major grimaces a little bit and is like, I mean, if that's what we're going to get, that's what we're going to get. More protection is always better, but I understand if you don't have, an armory's worth of, armor on hand.
I've got. Let's see. Major, I can get you a suit of plate, but I don't have enough for a second suit of plate and any meaningful armor. So I could do a suit of plate and 2 suits of half plate. Then I'd have a bit of iron left over.
Okay.
Alright. And then I will do that. Suit of iron plate for the major, iron half plate for Joe and bronze bottom.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and muscle spend another use of fabricate to make 3 long swords. Very barely connected together by a little strand of steel that easily snips off.
There is half the weight up, actually a little bit more than half the weight I've been carrying around off my back. I still have a desk and a table from that Drow City. Well, it wasn't the Drow City, but it was the city with the Drow in it. And Qualish's doorknob.
Under mechanics question, do the explosive bolts do they allow contact poisons to still work effectively?
No. They're not. They don't exist long enough.
I see.
The mechanized Balors, were their legs organic or metal?
The ones that we took were metal.
Sorry, what was that?
I see what you're getting at.
I can get everybody plate armor, but only one suit's going to be properly made. The other two will have to be iron, but I do have 50 pounds of steel and a bit of surplus metals. Cough, cough. Major, how about an upgrade?
Okay.
Guys, are we really that pressed for resources?
The
Uh,
expediency. Press for time.
Okay, I might have a solution.
which is?
I'm gonna phone a friend really quick and ask him how
don't think this is a
what
good
does he
idea.
want for 200 pounds of steel without nondescript steel without any traceable markings.
He's aware that you've come into a certain book that has certain relatively rare magics in it. He wants the book.
For 200 pounds of nondescript steel?
Yes. It will be completely untraceable.
Damn, okay. Apparently the
Hey, it's a commodity now.
It wasn't going to be traceable anyway after you
mean-
fabricate.
completely untraceable steel. It's literally immune to everything.
It is
Can't even
immune
scry on
to
this stuff.
scrying. It gives a plus 70 to stealth.
Still have
Uh,
advantage.
The steel is so incredibly nondescript and untraceable that it's currently sitting next to us and none of us recall us agreeing to this.
If only.
Alright, so I will fabricate the Mecha Baylor leg and another 15 pounds of adamantine into a new suit of plate mail for the major, and I will
Right back.
adjust the major's old plate mail for Joe and take back the 40 pounds of iron that got turned into half plate.
Okay. Alright, so he now has a set of steel plate mail. Anything else?
No.
Alright. So you guys just what? Gonna bunk down here?
Does anybody else have stuff to do?
Let's sleep.
Alright, mansion.
Okay. Mansion appears. You take your long rest. The next day comes.
Did we ever bury Malcha and what's his face?
No, you did not. You just left him there.
I'll do that before the long rest if that's possible, or after if
Yeah.
that's not. Wonderful. Alright.
I'll send Robert there to help you. Why not?
So then, Major.
The robot. More effective at burying bodies than dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I mean, dynamite is great at getting rid of bodies, so you don't have to bury them. So, Lieutenant said he was going to help with true polymorphs, right?
I don't know. I don't know if he even has true polymorph.
He did say he would, but he is gone.
Yes,
He
he's
has
gone. You
caught
do
the
not have
sneaky.
access to him.
Okay. Well, then this is going to take 5 days.
Okay.
Who's gone?
Lieutenant, you left.
Where'd
That
he go?
To
sleep.
sleep,
Well,
apparently.
Tired.
Oh, I thought I missed something where the lieutenant just fucked off into the wilderness. Okay.
You guys are all going to die. I'm out of here.
Well, since we got a few dead days under, could I make an Arcana check, I suppose? There's a spell in a book that I'd like to imbue on a weapon. The Cloak of Dark Power. I'm not sure
Okay.
what would I need to do to make that a more permanent thing or toggleable thing. I'd like to take steps to research that, since I'm doing nothing really.
Spell and
I mean,
there is
don't
a
you
spell in
don't,
older editions.
don't you have a like a thing where you can infuse an item with a spell or something like that?
I
part
actually
of-
can.
As like a part of an arcanist?
Yeah. A spell storing item.
Right. So why wouldn't you just use that? I'm confused as to why you need this.
I
Check.
prefer
Why
to
would
make
need to
it
be a
like a
check?
permanent effect or a longer lasting effect. See, the default, it's a minute, and then it fades.
Well, let me look up the spell real quick. I don't remember the details of it.
First level spell. I would limit it just purely to the weapon, so that way the equipment doesn't get fucked. Because drow equipment does get fucked in sunlight.
All right. So let me look up a couple of things real quick. You guys can keep talking though. I'm listening.
Amongst yourself.
So how about that local sports team?
Yes, sports ball. I'm fan of sports ball.
Oh
I've
man,
enjoyed my local team.
did you see what that hobgoblin did in the middle of the match?
I did. How scandalous.
Indeed. And that bullywog. That was some seriously unsportsmanlike behavior.
Sports ball will never be the same again. What a tragedy.
Indeed.
I can't. I can't.
Wow.
We
I
broke
am
AVR.
so enraged by what I saw. I think I might get violent in the stand.
Do it! Do it! Here's a cup.
Let's start a brawl. I'm gonna lightly kick one of the
Indeed.
paladins in the shin.
I can't believe sports
What?
ball would allow
Turn-
such acts.
Turn into what you call it right now?
What? No, Gilbert was going to be the last one.
I have no idea what's happening. Mina's having a
Sports
weird
ball
dream.
scandal.
All right. Well, why don't you give me that Arcana check then?
Ah, huzzah, the thing. Can I get
if-
help? Base.
I will.
You're really the only one who
Uh,
knows the spell and other things, so it's really not
Oh,
helpful.
I'm asking for bardic inspiration so I can.
Ah, okay.
I'll do that.
Huzzah.
It is a D12. If the major is ready,
Yes, he is.
Now enhance ability.
poof, dragon.
Dragon appears.
Amazing.
He takes off flying and promptly crashes on his face.
Ha, ha, ha.
Get the hang of that, right? You got a couple days.
Her.
Yeah, you should probably get used to it now.
I wouldn't go too far.
Okay, Dean. So you're pretty sure that if instead of making this like a spell storing item as the sword, you were instead to like embed like obsidian at the crossguard and kind of embed the magic into that, it would take better. And it would still count as like a spell storing item, because I think you only get a certain number of these items you can have at one time.
Yeah.
So it would still count as similar to like a spell storing item at one point. But as long as it's like embedded in that obsidian, it would basically be a toggleable effect.
Ooh, neat.
Yeah.
So it would be a spell storing item, but it would function as an enchantment.
Yeah. Yeah, for this particular spell, you could do that.
I think that's neat enough for me to seriously consider that whenever we get around to getting obsidian.
Well, we know where lava is, right?
Yeah,
we
we
know where
do.
water is. So you don't have diamonds.
Is obsidian a commodity in the market?
I mean,
Volcanic.
not really. You can get it from jewelers, but it's not really sold like as an open commodity, similar to the way iron or wheat is. Just it's basically it's a volume thing. Very few people want obsidian, so it's more of a specialty thing. Jewelers will have some though, generally.
All right. Do I know how much I need to make this thing work?
You figure like about 100 gold worth of it would be sufficient.
Lovely. Alrighty.
Well, if I haven't mentioned this, Mina would have attuned to the sacred scabbard by now. I just want to make sure that happens before I realize I didn't say anything in a combat.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm going to keep trying to attune to the ropes of the Archmage.
I don't think they will ever attune to you.
Never.
Wah, wah.
I mean, hey, they're more likely to attune to you than they are to me.
They don't attune to
More
bards.
likely to attune to Mina than they are to you.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you.
I think they can attune to you.
I mean, I'm not a warlock. I'm not a wizard. And I'm not a sorcerer. So no.
Really?
That's not one of the like 8 classes you took.
Fighter, bard, barbarian, paladin.
Neither am I.
What a shame.
Yeah, I'm not probably not good aligned yet. We're working on it.
Well, are you a sorcerer, warlock, or wizard?
I'm not, but I am going to multi-class eventually.
Okay.
Says the level 17 character.
Right?
I'm gonna jump one wizard
level
just
20th
to be
level.
get this.
Grab sorcerer.
Okay. So you guys just spend the 5 days turning people into dragons?
Like it. Mina's gonna hit up that hookah a lot, drink a moderate amount, and sleep, lounge around. There's probably like mansion's got like a fitness center going or something.
Yeah, it's got.
How many days of research did that take for me to do the thing?
All 5 days.
Nice and simple.
Okay. So 5 days have passed. You have your 5 dragons, I believe.
This seems like sufficient dragons. And if it's not, we'll make up the difference.
Well,
with
you've
brute
got
force and
the major, you got the Lieutenant Bronzebottom, you've got Joe, you've got 2 party members, I believe, David and somebody else.
Hello.
It was Gilbert.
Okay, David and Gilbert are also dragons.
Yay! Now what happened?
You are
It's like
an
Violet.
adult silver dragon.
Gilbert's gonna do a barrel roll.
Roll
A
athletics.
Star Fox barrel. A Star Fox barrel roll
Oops,
or an
the
actual
dragon.
barrel roll?
Can we go?
Yeah, just a second. Let me
Figure out how to
get
do
the correct-
dragon stuff.
hold on. It's not like I keep a dragon stat block open up on my desktop all day. Hold on. Okay, do adult silver dragon athletics.
That's
Eight,
a lot of
okay.
things. By raw attribute alone.
Only a +8.
Nice.
You do a
And-
beautiful barrel roll.
That was inspiring. I feel inspired.
I mean, it was textbook.
Better. Adult dragon.
You know, I've noticed that I tend to get a lot of my nat 20s on stupid shit.
The role-playing gods have rewarded you.
Barrel roll filled me with determination.
Seriously, guys, when this is all over, we all need to turn in to dragon turtles and beat the shit out of Tacitus.
He's not a big fan of changing her shape.
I'm not a big fan of changing my shape that I don't have complete absolute control over.
Mina just really likes thumbs.
Mm.
Dragons have thumb claws, right?
You know, I
Inadequate.
like having a soul, but then I
Yeah.
gave that up.
Mina didn't get where she is today by giving things away.
Pity
Hey,
that.
hey, Major, do you have a thumb claw?
He waggles like the little claws on like the wings at you. It's in an almost suggestive manner.
Does it not have front legs?
I
Dragons
Oh, it's
have-
one of them Skyrim dragons.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm thinking of a worm.
So dragons have 4 legs and wings off of their shoulders.
Yeah.
Wyverns have 2 legs and their wings are arms.
Right, but he's got like the claws at the joint in the wings, and he's kind of waggling those at you.
That's your thumb up
For
there?
him. That'd be weird.
Perfect dragon.
That seems really weird. I would not enjoy that. I like my thumbs where they are, thank you.
And he looks down at his claws and realizes that there, in fact, is an opposable claw there. But he shrugs
More you know.
and keeps waggling his wings at you.
You're enjoying yourself, aren't you, Major? You think you're gonna get a promotion if you go back with 3 dragons?
He stops and then nods.
Yeah, I would too, to be fair. We got dragons. Fucking dragons.
You know, you still can talk.
It's just in the moment. He's just really
Oh.
taking it all in.
I never thought to try that.
He's been silent all this time. Oh no.
They all have.
Oh.
Does Oddwick look disappointed?
Groan? Just a collective groan from all
Does
of them.
Oddwick look disappointed that it took the Major 5 days to think about talking?
No, she looks disappointed that that his 5
Figured
days of
it out.
silence are over.
Do you want me to make him forget I said that, Oddwick?
Yes.
Spends
Uh,
a 5th level spell to make them break.
Don't cast spells at the dragons. We need them.
Guys, I have a great idea. Cast Feeble Mind on the dragons while they're inside the city.
This
Give the
moves
lizard
the
a
city.
lizard brain.
This oops is a lot of things.
This oops Portimore.
All right, we're moving the whole campaign. We're going up to Northport,
Oh,
Uh,
right,
also
where
known
we get
as
to do all the
Backup
seedy
City
stuff.
1.
Didn't they say they were also occupying Northport?
It was implied.
We seem to have assumed that out of nowhere. We'll check on that later.
Actually, from the recording, I'm pretty sure they said they were.
They made contact there. They could have completely acquiesced and become a vassal.
Also, aren't they like? Don't they have similar rules to Northport? Because Northport's very much we don't give a fuck. It's like a piratey port because you can import export whatever you want. And
Does that mean
doesn't
we get to burn the city to the
Even
ground?
the
with no
dankest
regard for
drugs?
civilian
yeah,
casualties?
even the dankest drugs. I'm pretty sure this government feels the same way.
And the
So
most
I'm not
dangerous compounds, the most dangerous alchemical compounds.
Unless I'm wrong, I could be talking.
Don't let laws get in the way of good profit.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I need to visit that place sometime.
Yeah,
Wait,
I think
wait.
we're. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about civilians in Northport. I think that's just considered a target-rich environment.
Underdark. Is their legal system known as the rules of acquisition?
It might be.
yeah. So Dengande, nothing is considered contraband. So they're the same. Like, they have the same fiscal sense, I think, as Northport.
What if I just write contraband on a piece of paper?
If you've seen Westworld, they're going to look at the picture and say, it doesn't look like anything to me.
It would be sold as a pamphlet under the fiction section.
Oh, sweet! I'm an author.
Yes, but you'd still have to convince someone to buy it. One-word pamphlets aren't really probably worth all that much.
It's made out of
I don't have to
invisible
be a
ink, you
good
see.
author
It's a
to
forbidden
add
message
author
of
to
the
my
Pope.
portfolio.
It's a cursed image of the Pope, made in invisible ink.
So, when are we going to do this?
We could.
What's our in? Are we teleporting or are we riding dragons and dropping? Because I mean, I have Featherfall.
I need
Gilbert.
10 to set up the illusion.
Oh shit! I saw him keyed up and then that. There he goes. Still can't hear you, Gilbert.
Uh-oh.
Gilbert,
Yeah.
you've lost comms.
Hello? Hello?
There you
There
go.
I hear
There
you.
go.
Huzzah.
So, I don't have my most powerful magic right now. If we wait until tomorrow, I can help on the ground with groups of enemies inside and not have to worry about friendly fire. Or we can go today and I'll either have to limit my targets available in a cluster or just accept that we're going to have friendly fire or use only single target spells.
You're the boss.
Do we have another day to spare?
I have no idea. I don't know if we had the 5 we just used.
What's the concern?
I don't have. I can't use Psychic Scream if we go today. So we can wait until tomorrow. Or we can go
whatever
now.
sort of planning and preparation, I don't think it's going to make a big difference between 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, it just gives me, another night of being able to harass the commissar with sending.
Oh,
that
that's
what you
right.
could
You've
do?
been doing that. I forgot to tell you what she was doing in response.
Oh
So,
God!
so what are you sending her first?
Basically, each 25 words would be like 25 words out of like a demand for surrender and the terms for her surrender.
Okay.
Just fuck off.
Like, I believe I have these spell points on here to basically bother her all night, every hour on the hour, every night.
All right. Every time you do that, she responds by telling you of you're from Blothland, right?
Yep.
She tells you about the last war we had with Blothland. There was this village they captured from us. The village surrendered peacefully, but the Blothlin military slaughtered them all to a man simply because they were from Ngande. And other such various. Basically, she responds with pro-Ngande propaganda to every message. Discussing about all of the atrocities Blothlin has committed against Ngande people during their wars. And about how they're striking first because at least then the strikes are humane. Whereas Blothlin would have tortured and pillaged the entire town. Here, sure, they're taxed, but that's because Ngande is a government and they are providing government services. They are still free to go about their business. In fact, they are more free than they were around Venetia. Ngande does not discriminate against certain businesses the way the way Blothlin does.
Her.
How tired is she going to be after 5 or 6 days of this?
Looks like 6.
Now, you're just doing it during the night.
Yep,
Do you have spell points to
just
do it
harassing her
all like
during-
24 hours a day?
Actually, you know,
You just
let's
divvy it up every
run that
2 hours. Should
calculation.
probably be.
Let's run the calculation really quick. So I have 83 spell points.
Okay.
And sending is a 3rd level spell.
Yes. So it costs 5 points per.
All right.
So that's 16 times a day. Every hour and a half.
Oof.
Or you can go 2 hours.
24 point. Yeah, every hour and a half is. I mean, it's more than enough for a day. By almost an hour.
You know.
So,
this could be
Gilbert, you
complicated.
also don't sleep during these 5 days, then. Is that what you're telling me?
Gilbert's undead.
Are you? I believe you got turned
Does
into
he-
a dragon.
Gilbert is the last one to be turned into
Yeah.
a dragon. He will be turned into a
okay.
dragon no, immediately before our last
Okay.
long
So
rest.
do you continue to do this through, like, after you turn into a dragon? Because you notice those, like, niggling bodily issues, like sleep and hunger, you know, those come back when you get turned into a dragon.
Oh God.
The horror.
That's inconvenient for you. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
gonna go to sleep. Fuck that.
Okay.
Nah, just wait and turn into a dragon right when you leave. Fuck.
Oh, Nala. We're spending an extra day, right? For you to get your highest level spell slot back. Can you teleport here and back? And when I mean here, I mean to like a open market where I can grab some obsidian from a jeweler's.
Basil around. He's got a more reliable way to get back. I can probably.
I don't know. Is Basil here?
Yes. What was your-
Basil, would you be able to accompany us on a market trip?
Why do you need me?
I was gonna pick up some diamonds if we're going anyways. I've got a bit.
Did you say bacon? Jerky?
Wait, hold up. Are we adding another day to this?
We are going to add a 6th day of rest.
Has Gilbert been turned into a dragon at this point?
I think
Can't
the idea was
do
you're
this
going to
or-
turn into a dragon before we teleport or leave or whatever.
Why not
we do.
just do this on a day that we haven't used yet? Basil hasn't been doing it.
I mean, yeah, this can be any day.
We already have to take the extra day anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah, but what do you need me for?
They wanted to take a shopping trip, and you're the more reliable way to get home.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Unless you can get us to an open market.
What do you
Like-
do if the open market you travel to is under attack?
We're not going to Port Hammore, presumably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's like
Alright,
war efforts
there's-
going on.
I assume we're going to Venosia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Be
remember there
careful.
being trees there, so I'll
I-
just do that.
I talked to Jeweler in Venosa, right?
I believe so.
I'm gonna cast Sending and ask if any wars have broken out in Venosia.
This is a joke, right? That's the only response you get.
Huzzah.
I'll take that as a no. All right.
It could be a yes. He could literally have his house on fire right now.
Well,
I'll,
that would be
I'll cast
unfortunate.
I'll cast Sending again and say, no, I'm not on the continent right now, and I'm looking to return.
Yes, we are at war.
Oof.
Come back. Come back now because, you know, we need men.
Holy shit. Just when we thought Port Hamar was the one that was going to get yoinked, it's everything. Ah.
Well, we'll deal with Port Hamor first.
Yeah, we've got a plan for Port Hamor. We'll see what's going on overseas after that.
Whatever shit fit they're throwing on that continent, it's none of my business. If it keeps them off our shores, that's a good thing as far as I care. Are we still going?
Out of kick.
They might try
out
to
of kick.
press gang us to join their war efforts, but I don't think they'll be very successful.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Out of character, I kind of want to wait until Lieutenant's back.
I mean, I'm
I
getting a
think
little
we
bit
can-
tired and it's close to midnight, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys want, we can call it here in the middle of that 6th day.
It's all good by me. I'm ready to rock, but if nobody
Then-
else is, then I
Yeah,
think
well, it sounds
that's
like people are
okay.
getting tired, and we'll.
I could keep going.
It's probably a good idea for me to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way: if we call it here, next session, you guys, we handle like the whole rest of that 6th day within 10, 20 minutes, whatever.
And then the
Then
action.
and then you move
And
on
then
to
action.
your attack on Port Hamor.
And we'll be able to
And
finish
you have the
it,
whole
maybe.
session. Yeah, and you have the whole session for
Yeah.
retaking the port. Which it will probably take the whole session to deal with everything retaking the port.
Really,
There's only
if we're
like
lucky.
850
Yeah.
people.
Well,
There's
it
gonna be
depends
like-
on how well you execute your plan, I suppose.
This is going to be like Dragon Ball Z, man. It's
Look,
going to
I'll
take a whole
take-
saga.
I'll take the 425 on the left. You take the 425 on the right. It'll be fine.
Right.
Gilbert
but
breathes
AGR,
fire. This
if
oops
this
half
goes-
the crowd.
but AGR, if this goes like Dragon Ball Z, first we need to stop at fake Port Hamor.
God damn.
I think this is a record. Oh my god.
Nice.